The snow reflects today. God damn. I'm alive. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Happy whatever day. Wednesday. I don't know. I stabbed myself in the eye. I'm such an idiot. I literally had to wash my makeup off. I was doing some cool glitter shit today. And of course, I started hurrying because I realized I lost track of time. And there goes the sun. Dude, I swear to God. The sun, though. Can we just. There she blows. Oh my. And now we're in existential darkness. Okay. Uh, it just got so dark. Good morning. Wait, I'm gonna send Katie a pizza to break up with her. Wait, is that a thing? Is that. Do people send pizzas to break up? It literally just got so dark in here. Holy crap. Let me turn my lights up, I guess. Okay, we're in the dark now. I know, I think we're supposed to get more snow, so it's all cloudy outside. So I mean, I'm not reliant on that. I have other lights. It's a constant dance between like, as the light goes away from that window, I turn up all my other lights in the room. It's very annoying. Oh, no shit, Kona? That's kind of weird for mass, man. Me currently eating my pizza. Pizza Hut has breakup pizza. There's the sun again. Um, huh. That seems like a shitty way to break up with somebody. To send them a fucking pizza? Goodbye pie. Okay, Pizza Hut. That's weird, right? That sun. Holy shit. There are worse ways. That's true. I mean, at least you got a pizza out of it. To breakups suck no matter what, though. Let's be honest. That's special. That's very special. I take it over getting broken up through text. I've never been broken up through text. Yuck. People that do that are shitty. Yeah, I don't like that. Anything to go viral, it seems like it's something like that. Dude, speaking of viral, this is so off topic, but you guys know I love makeup. I follow like the makeup world and everything. And there's this brand called Charlotte Tilbury. In my personal opinion, I think it's very overrated. It's super expensive, like, designer type makeup shit. But you guys know I've talked about PR packages. Like me and Zach, we get PR for games all the time, like enormous, excessive PR packaging. Like I have a mini fridge. That's a mini fridge right there. That's a Bosch mini fridge I was sent from Surgeon Simulator. They send us the craziest shit, right? So in the makeup world, they do the same thing. They send out, like, to influencers who talk about makeup and stuff, they send out enormous packages. Like, so no shit. Charlotte Tilbury recently sent out a package that looked like a giant lipstick that, I mean, I'm not kidding. It was like 4 feet tall. A 4 feet tall lipstick. It looked like a giant dildo. And yeah, the lipsticks. Did you hear about this? Yeah, it's so corny. I mean, it's just one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen in my life. Um, so they sent out this gigantic. It's a box, but it's a giant lipstick. And then when you opened it up, it split down the middle and opened up like a book. It was every new lipstick and lip liner that Charlotte Tilbury had allegedly released, and they all of these influencers got their package and then went to open it, and they were empty. Like, the factory just completely didn't put product in the giant fucking box, like, empty. And so Charlotte Tilbury, like, to cover their tracks, is trying to pull it like they did it on purpose. They're trying to pretend it's like a true crime story, and I mean, it's the most corny. And so they spent, I mean, God knows what these packages cost to be sent out. And then because they forgot all the product, they sent another package with like evidence bags of the lipstick and pretended it was, a on purpose thing. It's just so wasteful. It's so fucking excessive. It drives me nuts. Enormous like my ability to ride mechanical cocks. I'm still jealous I didn't get to ride that. Wait, in my case, I was ignored 2 weeks, which drove me into a panic mode because my first thoughts were, is he okay? Did something bad happen to him? I can't describe how terrible it was. And then the cherry on top, just straight up getting broken up with through text. I know this doesn't make any of it better, but you're better off. Why would you want that person in your life? Good morning, Robo, my love. How are you? Yeah, just send some. I mean, it's the pack. I mean, no shit. This, like, the fridge was something else. Like, this was just ridiculous. This came in a I mean, an enormous wooden crate full of, packing, not peanuts, but like that, just, like spiralized cardboard, basically. I mean, it was huge. It was like getting a fucking sarcophagus in the mail or something like that. But you think about what these companies shell out on that, and half the world can't afford food or rent or a car or like, it just gets me sick a little. I reserved my hotel room for TwitchCon, so I don't leave till Monday. We fixed ours as well, so we come in on, oh God, what was it? So, lift control. Did the alert even go off? Thank you for subbing the class, keeping the class alive, and giving an answers for 30 fucking months.
I appreciate you, bitch.
So every single TwitchCon in the history of time, everybody flies in on Thursday, and then Friday, when the con actually starts, that's usually when they have like an influencer night where you can go to the store and buy stuff. So we flew in on a Thursday. That's the night they decided to have they decided last year to have the partner party on Thursday and to have like the, like go buy merch thing. It was so stupid. So we flew in when it was closed. Like we flew in that night. So this year we're flying in on like a Wednesday, I think. It's just like, how long do they want us away from streaming? They keep extending TwitchCon. Like, do we need to be there for 6 days? Are you doing the same, Robo? Yeah, that's smart because, honestly, it's not that I don't like going to the con, but they keep stretching shit out. So it's like, we have to be gone even longer. And it drives me crazy because, this is what I do for a living. Like, I love going to the cons, but being away from actually working means I'm not making any money to make up for this trip you're making me go to. Yep, flying in Tuesday, flying out Wednesday, or flying in Wednesday, flying out Tuesday. It's the smartest thing to do if you want to do everything. 6 days is usually how long I always stay. Allows me to just go somewhere. I agree outside of a con. Because the con, it's just like, I feel like I can't, this one's going to be different because it's in San Diego. So I'm going to be at the zoo. If anybody's looking for me, I will be at the zoo. But normally, like, they just spread out all the shit so much that you don't have, at least for me, I don't have enough time to go do anything. Like, I'll have like one thing every day I have to do in the middle of the fucking day or something. Talking about rent, there's someone, oh wait, I grabbed that link. Hold on, I think Rage gave me a link. Yeah, I just remembered I clicked it as soon as I went live and just, oh, I love cute shit. Just completely spaced out and I apologize. Might say 2 days in Mexico. No shit, have you ever been? Mexico's beautiful, but the border towns are very sad. Like, you'd have to go pretty deep to get somewhere that's just not super depressing. I grew up going to those border towns all the time with my grandparents. El Cadona is a really common one. We used to go down there and get their medications, and the poverty is palpable. It is very, very sad. Just a pure warning, like, it's sad. It's the way they live. It's just, really hits you hard. Also, since you're going to rent a car, be careful of the cops. Cops in Mexico, they will pull you over and threaten to arrest you if you don't give them everything on your person. And they just will. So maybe bring a buddy. Mexico's scary. I've been a ton of times. Like, I know how to go safely. I don't feel unsafe there, but I know a lot of people that go there that definitely, like my aunt, literally her and her husband, police pulled them over for speeding, held them up and said, you have to give us everything you have. What do you do? Good morning, Kendo. How are you, love? Oh my god, is it Valentine's Day? Happy this day. That's Robo, that's all I do, really. Lived in El Paso for 4 years. Juarez is a super duper scary shithole. It's so sad, right? It's just sad. I know I haven't been to Mexico in years, but I used to go all the time when we were younger. Unfortunately, it feels like Twitch Amazon realized that by stretching out the con, they can force attendees to buy more merch, meaning Twitch gets more profits from using the time frame psychology that stores use. The longer you stay, the likely you're going to buy it. You know what's weird though? There's only one place at TwitchCon to buy stuff. Like they have they set up a corner of the con where it'll be like a shop, with all the merch. By day 2, it's all gone. And by all gone, I mean every size other than extra small is gone. That's why they usually have it's a privileged stupid thing, but they do have a night where partners can go in and buy merch before other people because it goes so fast. So yes, I don't disagree with you, but if you want that to happen, maybe have more stuff for us to buy. Ooh, Revolticon, let me grab. Seriously, Knives, it's very common down there. It's kind of the Wild West. For the most part, you're safe. You just got to be cautious of that kind of shit. Carry some pesos to give up to a cop. It's always been 3 days. Absolutely, Barry. But in the past, they've had everything actually condensed to those 3 days. And this last TwitchCon, they had the partner party and the special night to buy merch Thursday night. The night when normally we're all flying in. So, I got in at 9 p.m. It was all done. That's what they pushed it. So it's now I got to add another day, It's okay. It's just it's kind of a pain in the dick. Oh my God, Kendo. Chiclet. Oh, it breaks your heart, dude. It's horrible. Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day at the same time. That's hilarious. We weren't allowed to go across the border while I was there because I was in the military and they had just kidnapped 4 soldiers, killed them and scalped them in Juarez. Dude, that shit's so real. You're not, what's sick, Danny? You are not the first, second, or third person I've heard exact personal stories like that. I have a buddy who lives in southern Arizona, and him and his dad hunt in the mountains down there, and they've literally come across body parts. The cartel will behead people and throw them over the border. It's really fucking scary down there. It's because it's the border. My parents had a timeshare down in, or they didn't have one. We, rented one from a friend or something like that. But down in Puerto Vallarta, Nueva Vallarta, and when you go down that far, it's still very poor, very sad. You're gonna feel it, but it's a lot less of that crime against Americans. The border cities, that's what they know we're coming down there to get our meds or drugs. They're there to, they're trying to make money off us. I get it. No shit, they keep stock low too on purpose for FOMO, artificial scarcity. Disgusting. It's stupid. Give up sex for Lent. I swear it's voluntary. I used to give up shit for Lent. I'm not in a religious way, but I kind of like challenging myself. Just being okay, for the next 40 days, I'm not going to have, I've gone cold turkey on coffee before. Caffeine, stuff like that. It's kind of fun just to push your body and see what you can do. To be honest, what they need to do for merch is let you pre-order and then just turn up and retrieve your box of loot. 100%. Or, better idea, pre-order, send it to you before the con, and then you can wear your cool TwitchCon merch at the con. Because, seriously, we went and walked around the merch store the second day, and nothing but extra smalls. I can squeeze into an extra small, but let's be realistic, 99.9% of us are chubby gamers. Myself included. We do. What? Realize your audience and get more sizes, for fuck's sake. How long have we been bitching about size inclusion? Forever? Oh, I know, Kendo, you can't even acknowledge them, and that's the part that breaks your fucking soul. I have some Matamoros stories from my senior year of high school back in 89, different times. Is that a city? The border's super murdery. It's very sad. Oh, no shit. They do that with Forge World stuff for Games Day in the UK. Oh, I want to go to that. Good morning, Wand. How are you, love? Music Man, it just well, I mean, it didn't just start. I stabbed myself in the eye this morning trying to hurry my makeup, so I guess that's good. I hope you're doing well. I once tried to give up interacting with stupid people for Lent. It didn't. That's impossible. You tried though. Good luck. Atif, good morning, love. How are you? Is anyone going to TCU? Was thinking about that. I booked a hotel. I haven't booked a flight or anything yet. I'm gonna see what the flights are like. Because that's really, I mean, you remember last year, the France one? The flights were, I mean, astronomical. It would have cost me over $4,000 to get there, not including any cost of the con. It was just crazy. Like, that's the kind of, fuck that. No. Baby tees are coming back, though. No shit, Mishy. I, like, you know, if I go buy clothes, which is like once in a blue moon, but I go to thrift stores and I shop little boys section. Youth boys shirts fit me perfect. And they're cool. They've got like Ninja Turtles and shit on them. Oh my God, Sarah again. Just make it one size fits all. I viscerally, like, the hairs on the back of my neck raise if I see that on something. Like, if I'm looking at Amazon for, like, literally anything and it's like, one size fits all. You're a liar. Fuck yes, Music Man. It's amazing, right? It was like 1K to 1,700. Yeah, it was disgusting. It was so expensive last year. And it was kind of a blessing we didn't go because right after TwitchCon was when France broke out in, like, historically the worst bed bug infestation we've ever seen in the world ever. Like, I'm really glad I wasn't there. I don't know if I could sleep well. Yeah, flights to from Denver to San Diego, easy. I mean, seriously, we're like a sniff. I could drive there, honestly. Like, if the flights were suddenly, like, got dumb, I could drive to California. That's nothing to me. I've driven across the country multiple times. No shit, Kona. Well, the thing is, I mean, like, normally I travel constantly. That's where I put any money I have. Any money that doesn't go towards bills, I go towards travel. But in the past, like, since the pandemic, flights have been so expensive. Like, that's the reason I didn't go to TwitchCon EU. I had everything booked and everything. But, like, coming from just my personal experience, I have flown across the globe. I've gone to Thailand. I've gone to many different places. I have never spent over $1,400 on a flight in my life. And when that France flight just didn't go down, I was like, there's no fucking way. I'm not spending $4,000 to fly somewhere for 3 days. Like, and on top of that, it's not even enough time to get over the fucking jet lag. Like, by the time you got over your jet lag of getting there, you'd be leaving. Fuck that. Fuck it in the butt. I ain't that level of rich. I once went to Magicon in Chicago, but my ex-GF is going there. Oh, yeah. Current GF wouldn't let me. Is your ex-GF a crazy person? Oh, that's what it is for this year. Really? Still. Ugh. Oh my God, we have a new Legal Eagle. Shut up. Is it good? Is it good news? Don't tell me. Hold on, we got a couple. That I was waiting for that song to end, and of course I missed it. You heard nothing. Hold on. Why'd you call my friend a dumbass on Twitter? I mean, honestly, your friend stabbed herself in the eye with an eyeliner pencil. What would you say? I hate for Amazon clothes because I ordered boxes and they look like they would fit me and ordered the normal size that would fit me, but the size they sent were yep. It's all literally, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think the vast majority of clothes that are on Amazon, like cheap clothes, they're all the fast fashion shit. I mean, it's essentially the same thing as like Shein, right? Because I've ordered some of it and it is shit quality. I mean, some's okay, but like, I think a lot of it is similar to that Shein stuff. I had to pay $700 for a round trip flight to Arizona. Yeah, it's crazy what flights are right now. It's stupid. That's an Australian flight. That's what I'm saying. If I can fly to the other side of the globe, i.e. Thailand, for cheaper, I just can't stomach it. I'd rather go on a fun, like, not that I don't love TwitchCon. I'd love to go to TwitchCon EU, but I could go somewhere for fun for less, like exponentially less, you know? It's now $450 to $700 for round trip from Wisconsin to Nevada. What the fuck? That's wild. 450 to 700 just to skip a couple. You could drive that. I know I say that all the time. I grew up road tripping. I love road trips. But like, what the fuck? Really? Fun fact, airplanes today fly slower than they did in the 60s to economically conserve fuel. Is that a good thing? It's mostly good? Okay, good. We got a couple of like shorts and a song, and then we'll watch the Legal Eagle. I'm excited. I haven't seen the new Legal Eagle one. It's titled, Trump is not immune from prosecution. Duh. Who gave me the Dead South? I love the Dead South. Oh, you got a new diagnosis, like a good one? Klutz is different from dumbass. I mean, I felt like a dumbass because I like got excited about my makeup and then realized what time it was and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm going to be late." And I started to hurry. And I'm here to just be your PSA when wielding pointy, sharp objects near the mucosal membrane of your eyeball, don't hurry. That's the dumb part. Don't do that. You'd think you don't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, this was the first one. Cute dog. Don't be muted. Oh. It's Bill. This is Lilith every morning. Oh, baby. Bill does this every morning. She hates to get up. My heart. Oh. Look at that face, though. That's fucking soul warming. No shit. Lilith, every morning my alarm goes off and she like gets up and stretches and literally lays like on my head. Like, no, not today. This is our protest. Every morning she lays on top of me and tries to get me to not get up. It's so hard to get up sometimes. Who am I to tell Katie she can't call herself a dumbass? She'd kick me. Then we'd get into a fist fight and it's just a bad time. I don't have very strong arms, but like the kick would be good. I know, Rod. That's the dumb part. Is like, I'm not rushing for anything, really. It's only an hour. Like, if people want to hang out, an hour is not going to make a difference. Why risk my eyeball? But in the moment, my brain's like, quickly, blindness. Like, you know, it's just a dumb moment. I mean, it's so sad when you have to tell your puppies it's not time. You know what I'm saying? It's the worst. Being late for stream isn't great, but it's better than the poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to be late, but also you can, I mean, I'm being very serious. Like, the pencils and shit I use are wood. Don't rush with sharp things around your eyes. The lesson of the day. It's not worth literally anything. You get one eye. You get two eyes. You fuck them up, you're done. Yeah, don't be stupid. Like, don't be me. Just like maybe plan your morning better and don't sit down 30 minutes before you're supposed to start stream and think to yourself, let's do clown makeup. Idiot. And so her family looks down on him. Oh my God, what is his name? It's like crazy. Like the name of the movie is literally a word and a slash and a word. It's like Crazy Beautiful or something like that. Oh my God. I hate my brain. Hold on, I'm just gonna Google it. I haven't seen the movie in fucking ages, but if you like Kirsten Dunst, she spends like 90% of the movie without a bra on in a tank top, like in a tube top. So like, we all know why Katie watched it, okay? Just here to admit things because we're friends. It is. It's Crazy Beautiful. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. I'm so proud of myself. I really thought that wasn't it. I haven't seen it in 5 million years. This was a movie that used to be on TV all the time, but the male actor in it, what's his name? Jay Hernandez. Did someone guess that? No, okay. Jay Hernandez. Does anybody know who that guy is? That's who he looked like so much to me. Hold on. He's a really good actor. I've seen him in multiple things. But yeah, Crazy Beautiful. If you've never seen it, it's a really good movie. Like it's actually a really, really good movie. Really, really good movie. Aside from the fact that she has huge fucking milkers in no bra and a tank top the whole time, tube top. Like the, it's one of those. I'm such a thirsty fucking perv. I'm so sorry. It's one of those movies where you literally spend the entire hour and whatever minutes just waiting for that under boob that is teased to you for the entire under hour and some minutes. You know what I'm saying? When that fucking crop top just is like right there and you're like, come on! But it never happens. But like you're there with it. I'm so sorry. I get passionate. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Shitter was full! Bob's. I do love, I mean, Kirsten Dunst had some fucking knockers back in the day, dude. I don't know what they're like anymore. They've been sucked on to death, probably, but they were great. Is he from Hostel? I don't know. I haven't seen Hostel in so many years. I really don't know. Was the reason I watched that movie. Glad I'm not the only one. If you just want to see Kirsten Dunst naked, watch, oh, dude, Melancholia. But she's like not hot in it. She's all depressed and shit. But yeah, you're right. Melancholia is really good. I like that movie. Mommy Milkers. Yeah. Listen, Teen Glut watched Bring It On for multiple reasons.
Teen Katie still watches Bring It On for multiple reasons.
We're all there. It's fine. Oh, it's not great. It's minor. Charles Bonnet. Free hallucinations? Dude, what the fuck? That sounds like it sucks. Excellent, my love. Thank you. I'm very, I mean, come on now. We all like to look at pretty things, and I'm just here to admit things. It's actually a really good movie though. It's a really sweet like love story, you know. But it's the titties are off the charts. Thank you for resum the class. Keep the class alive. Giving it a swings. Go
Go forth and be consensual.
I'm a thirsty bitch, man. I can't help it. But honestly, like I wouldn't have said that to other like we have this. Oh my god. Yeet, no shit. This is literally what we're watching next. Mike threw it at me and I haven't seen it yet. I'm really excited. Hold on. I've been buff. I've been letting it cook, so hopefully she's cooked. Hopefully. The eyeball? For me, it's the eyeball. I can't watch that. I can't. Dude, right? Melancholia is such a. I mean, I've never seen a movie that represented depression more accurately in a visual context. Like, all I can think is those moments where she's hallucinating and everything's kind of in slow motion and the wind's blowing around. God, that's weird. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen this one yet. So, Legal Eagle, if you're unfamiliar, really cool YouTuber, lawyer who does a lot of coverage of the Trump shit. But he breaks it down into knowledge, like into language that you and I can understand for the most part, which is so fucking nice. And the cool thing is there's so many people in our community who are way smarter than me that if I don't understand what he's saying, I can pause it and ask you guys, and guaranteed 3 of you know exactly what I'm asking for. It's the best. I don't even watch these on my own anymore because I have so many questions. I'm just not smart in this area. Some people see waterfalls and horses, but thankfully I just see little wormy light. Thank fuck. Dude, I used to get I called them glowworms, but I used to get these like spots in my vision all the time. Oh, Revoltcon. Yeah, for me it was the eyeball with the torch. That really fucked me up. Oh, Rod, it's Melancholia. It's not depressing. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's not a depressing movie. Like, it's not like watching Requiem of a Dream or something like that. It's not a movie that's going to spiral you. It's kind of this weird. It's definitely an art house movie. Like it's artsy fartsy and all over the place, and the timeline kind of skips around because it's representing from her point of view how depression is affecting her as a human. So you're seeing her world from her like eyes. It's really good. It's beautiful movie. I mean, the cinematography in it alone is phenomenal. It will blow your fucking dick off. It's so pretty. Yeah, and like this, yeah, exactly. The movie's a study in depression and like this finality, seriously. And it's Kirsten Dunst and Alexander Skarsgård, and then who plays her sister? Oh, I forgot her name. Oh my god, I'm blanking on it. But if you just go watch the preview, you'll get a really good feel for how the movie is. It's just different, but it's not one of those movies like Requiem for a Dream or something that's going to literally spiral you in depression with a super sad story. It's just a beautiful kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain that. Having smart people around is never a bad thing. I hope to fuck I consistently consistently surround myself with intelligent people because I don't ever want to start being stupid. Good morning, Viata. Cheers, my love. Kristen Stewart? No shit. I've never been a big fan. I'd give it a try for some bobs, but like I don't know if it's Twilight that ruined me on her, but she's like really boring. I feel mean. I'm probably boring to her. She seems really fucking boring. But like I'm here for bobs. Yeah, she I think Knives, you ripped it out of my head. I was gonna say, I think she's got a knack for playing like a pensive kind of a character who's a lot more on the inside than on the outside. And so she gets typecast as that character all the time. Like that thing. She gets typecast as it, which sucks, but it makes it so she's like boring. But I'm sure she's great now. She's done so many things since Twilight. I don't think I've seen one thing she's been in since that, which is odd. Not on purpose. Seriously, Demoise, I agree. Melancholy is wonderfully done. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's because I think it comes from that first person point of view of how depression feels and looks. Bud, we just went outside. I love you so much. I love my dog, but sometimes I want to lock him in a room far, far away from me. Come, 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 come. That's my boy. I would never. I would never. I'll lick off my chapstick every day. You just want my chapstick. You don't even love me. That's all you're here for. My boy. Yeah. Just need snuggles all the time. My bong's smoking itself. We're having a great time. No. No. Sorry, bud. I gotta put my bong out. You can stay. You can stay, but I don't want the smoke being in your face. I don't know what that will do to your head. I have a craving for milk? Go get some milk. The hell? Is it because of boobs? Dude, right? I don't think Megan Fox has ever been like, a great actress. No offense. But I do own Jennifer's Body and I watch it for reasons. We're all thirsty on the inside. He needs some milk. How are you, Zacatecus, my love? His poops are good. You know what I started doing, Sexlin? I made that like the pumpkin chicken rice and like smeared it into a ice cube tray thing. I got these like ice cube trays that are not latex, silicone, so you can pop them out really easily. So if I get a sense that his tummy's acting weird, I just pop those in their food and give him a little jolt of fiber. So then I don't have to wait for it. Bill's over here being jealous as well. She's down here. I don't drink milk either, Viata. I have oat milk for my coffee and shit like that, but I don't drink milk. How do you explain to someone how fucked your head is to someone that has never suffered? I mean, that's such a loaded thing because, like, my first instinct is why do we have to bear the responsibility of that? And that might not be a good answer, but like, no shit. Like, as someone who has neurodivergencies, why is it my responsibility to help someone completely encompass and understand what I'm going through? You know? Psychoticus, I'm absolutely looking forward to tomorrow. Secrets. They should be learning your sort of way to life, of life to adapt to you. Like, yeah, it's a really, I mean, it's hard. That's a really, really hard question because as someone who has people in their life they care about who are neurodivergent, like, I want to make them feel better and I want to be there for them. But coming from the flip side of being the neurodivergent person, I don't understand how, like, me struggling to completely help them know exactly what I'm feeling and going through helps the situation in any way, shape, or form because they still can't do anything about it. No matter how well I explain what I'm feeling, you can't do anything about it. It's a neurochemical imbalance in my head. And I feel like this is personal, but sometimes it can just compound the stress and anxiety that you're already experiencing whenever everyone around you is like, help me understand. What can I do for you? Because not only are you already feeling like shit for no reason other than a chemical imbalance, now you feel like shit because you can't help anyone help you. You know what I mean? Yeah, unless I choose to share, ain't no one's business what's in my head. Yeah. And it doesn't help, really. You know? Like, it honestly, in my experience, the better I am at explaining what I'm going through makes people around me more sad. That's all it does. They just start, oh my God. And you're like, okay, now I feel bad because I made you sad. Like, how many times are we going to do this? You know? What's the best alternative for latex? Nitrile. Those are like most gloves these days aren't latex. We don't even use latex very much in the hospital anymore. It's almost all nitrile gloves at this point because, like, what happens is even if you don't already have a latex allergy, you can develop a latex allergy due to overexposure of latex. So nurses and shit were getting latex allergies because we were constantly putting latex on our hands over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? Jeez, fuck Katie. I'm sorry I asked. Now I'm bummed out. Yeah. I mean, seriously, it's a cycle like that. And it sucks because, like, how do you tell someone who just wants to help you that they can't help you? I mean, it's a really, really hard place to be. That's such a hard question. Nitroglycerin's a horrible alternative to latex. Well, arguably, could for some people might be. Or maybe. Yeah, nitrile, I think. Yeah. That's what all gloves are. I just had a root canal. My mouth is numb. Oh God, Mista, how's it going, honey bean? I had a couple root canals when the horse stepped on my face. They suck. Oh my God, sexcellent, right? I know. My ADHD's all over the place today, but yeah, it's the best way to help. Just listen or leave me alone. Don't give me solutions. Every time I talk to my mom about my depression, it's like, how about you go back on meds? And it's the I just can't do meds, and she doesn't get it. Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, I talk to my mom about that stuff too, and she's gotten to the point where she doesn't try to understand it anymore. She's at the point where she's like, I don't know what to do if I don't understand it. But we actually have a real conversation about that. And she's coming to terms with the fact that she can't do anything. And I think it compounds with, like, she's a mom. And instinctually, most moms in the world will do anything to help. And when you can't, it's really like they get offended now that they can't help you. And it's like, okay, I already felt like shit. You're making me feel like, can we stop this situation? Everything's getting worse in my soul. Like, this conversation goes nowhere. It's the worst. It's just shitty. But mental health is so fucking important. Like, I mean, that's why we have therapists, right? I've tried reconnecting a couple times and they didn't change. So I haven't talked to them in like 3+. I mean, I think there's a lot of us here who have a type of relationship where we talk to our parents either not at all or like once every 6 months or whatever, get the trauma dump from them. Like, I mean, it's not a joke. I laugh because I'm very uncomfortable, but I can't remember the last time my parents contacted me and someone wasn't dead. We just, we survive, I guess. Well, some of us do.
Help!
Yeah. If you can afford a therapist, yeah. I mean, dude, I worked in the medical system for 13 years and was never offered psychology insurance in my life. I still pay for my therapist out of pocket. Blood OG, the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Found family is the best. 100 and I could not agree harder. 100 fucking P. I mean, truly, there is something so pure about someone who wants to be a part of your life, not out of responsibility or due diligence or blood. Like, the fact that there are people out there who just truly want to be involved in your life for no other reason than they care about you, that is fucking beautiful. You know what I mean? Shopping for one's the worst, but I mean, once you find one, dude, seriously, like Sexton said, I was actually just listening to a really good talk the other day of a psychologist, and he was saying that psychology is one of the number one majors right now of people being people are graduating in psychology and going in to be psychiatrists and shit like that. Because I mean, even this person I was listening to this podcast, or not, they were a doctor, but they were talking about how like none of their colleagues can take any more patients. Like they are booked. And it's a good thing because that means more people are seeking out therapy. We're normalizing going to therapy. But because we've never done this before, we literally don't have the psychologists and psychiatrists to assess that level of people who want to get help. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. It just takes a while. Yeah, when someone fucking chooses you instead of obligation, goddamn, what a fucking thing. I'm starting therapy again this year, so hopefully it helps. I was just so over it, because they have the same solution. Let's throw meds at it. It's just, yeah, and that's when you got to find a new one. And like someone was saying, shopping for a therapist is the worst. It sucks. But I try to tell you guys, I try to impress this on you guys. Anyone who's a medical professional, anyone, doctor, nurse, respiratory therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, we're your employee at the end of the day. You're paying us for a service. If I don't deliver that service you're happy with, go find someone else. Seriously. You are always allowed to refuse therapy. You're always allowed to refuse whatever a doctor or a psychiatrist tries to say. Go find another one. Like, if you can. I know that's saying it really lightly, but don't ever feel like you're stuck. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Well, Rod, she probably has an office she works at during the day. That's what my therapist, she has an office she works at during the day, so all her tele-appointments are only in the morning and the night. They have to. That's where they make their money. I found the pood that talks. Oh my God, let me load it. Hold on. I just wanted to take a quick break and let the dogs out before we watch the Legal Eagle because they're battling right now on the other side of my desk. I'm afraid they're going to unplug something. Oh, that chocolatey poodle's so cute. Chlorinated latex gloves. I don't think I've ever used those. Chlorinated? What is that? The motivation to do so is my Achilles heel. Same. Yeah. I wonder if the increasing number of people is mostly because of the destigmatization of mental health help, or if the world is getting steadily harder to live in for an increasingly large number of people. I think it's a little bit of A and B. I think so. I think, and again, it's just me like conjecturing on what I see in the world, but I think like since the pandemic, and probably since before, we're kind of in a state of a global depression. And, you know, like on top of therapy being less stigmatized, people are coming, like people that have been struggling their whole lives are getting to a breaking point, you know? And that's usually what happened. Like you guys, I've told you guys my story. I mean, if you were here, it happened on stream. You usually have, when you're ignoring your mental health and you're letting it just build up inside of you, you have a point where you break and you can't handle it anymore. And I think that the additional stressors of the world right now are bringing people to a breaking point where they're, you know, like before they were struggling, but they were like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And now they're just like, I can't do it. I'm going to drown everybody, you know? Like the world is really stressful right now. The entire world is in a housing crisis, in just a cost of living crisis, for fuck's sake. I mean, it's not a good place right now. Oh no shit, my therapist specializes in brain type CPTSD and over intellectualizing issues. She's been a godsend there. Seriously, when you find the right therapist, it seriously is like a gift. It's a gift. The best therapist I found was a social worker working towards her degree. She focused on helping me take the real steps towards fixing what I was struggling with things. It ended up being exactly what I needed at that time. And that's why I love my therapist, because she's not about just like drowning my symptoms or making them go away or just like over medicating me. She's about acknowledging who I am as a person and working with this to make this more happy in the world, as opposed to making this easier for other people to deal with. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people initially go to therapy because they want to fit in a little bit better or like roll with the punches. You know what I mean? And therapists can help you realize like you're more important than other people's opinions. How do you feel about yourself? Let's work on that first. And that's a big one for me. I was fortunate. I've already been in lockdown for like 6, 7, dude. I mean, Z, like, I think it was like a year after the pandemic, like, it started and the shutdown was official and everybody was staying in. And I was telling chat, like, The only thing in my life that has changed is I no longer have to lie to my parents about going out all the time so they don't think I'm depressed. Like, now I just get to sit inside all day and it's normal. Because before it was like if my mom called me and I, in the past 7 days hadn't done anything, i.e., gone out and done something, she'd be like, "Are you okay? Are you doing all right?" And I'm like, here's the thing. I've built myself my ideal environment in my house, i.e., I've got snakes, lizards, spiders, every craft thing you could possibly want, a top notch computer to play any game possible. The outside world has to compete with that. And, like, I haven't seen it win yet, other than the mountains. Oh, she just called to tell me about death, as usual. You know, I've gotten pretty used to our calls starting with, "Your mom, your father, and your sister are fine, but it's not good." That's how those calls start. And I'm like, "No, yep, here it comes." I laugh because I'm uncomfortable. Literally, like, what do you do? I mean, that's the point. That's our relationship at this point. It's really difficult to work on yourself. It's really, really difficult to work on yourself. But like I told you guys this, my therapist told me this a few weeks ago. Being low maintenance does not mean you have adjusted to deal with your neurodivergence better. It means you've adjusted to make your neurodivergence easier for the world to deal with. That's what low maintenance means. And that's what we've been working on. That fucked me up. I was like, "Oh my God, we're all just minimizing ourselves so people stop pointing out how weird we are. Oh my God." Cheers. Let me grab the song. Hold on. Wait, is it Ian McConnell? I think I got it. Did I get it? I got it. Okay. Cheers. What up, Flawless? How are you? David Wright? I mean, and there's no pro to going out and buying it yourself. Like, who the fuck wants to wander the grocery store and overpay when you can just, like, carefully select every grocery you need, work down your bill to the price you want it to be at, and not end up at the cash register with a $200 grocery bill suddenly? Like, everything's better about it. I don't know. I have a bit of a wall of text. I mean, if it lets you, a certain wall of text my bot will block. If I had a way to bring sunshine indoors, I probably would be able to stay inside as well. Same. I go outside for sunshine. I do like to go outside, but when I say I don't go outside, I mean like society. Like I guess I've just grown out of it, but like, when you're in your 20s, everybody wants to go out to the bar or go out, like, play pool. Like, going out and being social is like the core of who you are for a while. And at this point, the second I'm out, I'm just kind of like, I want to go home and play a video game. Like, nothing here is as entertaining as I've created for myself in my own environment, you know? Okay, my dogs have lost their shit. Quick break. Yep. Yep. Yes, I did. Rod, didn't I? I thought I replied. That's fucking phenomenal, though. Drugs? That's a choice. Yeah, that was pretty fucking amazing. I thought I did. Yeah, lawyer up with Legal Eagle, dude, for real. He's so smart, and he, like, really presents information in just such a fucking, like, I don't know, what's the word? Cohesive manner. And it's a lot of shit. Okay, so it didn't block it. The short version is last week or so, I've started to recall some things that were pressed in regards to my dad and the hell he put me through, things I swept under the rug or looked past because I wanted to have a relationship with him before he passed. Sadly, we got better, but it was still half-assed attempt by him to come off like a good dad while never acknowledging the hell he put and others he put through. Hell, he and others put me through. Basically, no apologies. No shit. I was just listening to Chrissy P recently, like her podcast with Tom Segura, and she was talking on this topic. She's like, I think both of her parents are dead now, but she's like, what I realized before they passed was that, like, I'm never ever going to make them happy, ever. Like, I don't think we will ever please. Like, they will never ever own up to anything they've done, and we'll never make them happy. So, like, just fuck with them while you can. And I kind of think I'm gonna live by that. Like, have fun while you can and stop striving for it, because it's never gonna happen. Ever. You know? So, like, when my mom asks me why I don't have kids, I like to ask her why she keeps asking me whether or not Zach has cream pied me. And it stops that conversation very quickly. You know? Fuck with him while you got him if you have to interact, I guess. There's nothing to be done. You can't. I mean, seriously, I deal with this with my mom. Like, when I was younger, she thought I was fat and put me on every fucking fad diet known to man. Like, from the age of 10, I was in Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers and caffeine pills and all that. And now, as an adult, she pinches me and thinks I'm unhealthy and too thin. There's no winning. You can't win. Stop trying. I mean, seriously, I know that's a lot easier to say, but like, Jesus Christ, you can't do it. Wait, why is my mom? She didn't ask me that. No, 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 no. She wants grandbabies real bad, and my sister and I are kind of the like neither of us. I don't know. My sister might have kids. I do not want kids. I've never wanted kids, and she will. I'll complain about cramps, and she's like, you know how to get rid of cramps. And my comeback to her when she asks why I'm not having children is, why do you keep asking whether or not my significant other has cream pied my vagina? Because it's kind of the same thing. Like, when a couple says, we're trying, no one thinks about the fact that they are just fucking cream pieing all over the place. They're all like, oh, they're trying for a baby. So cute. So much cum. There's cum everywhere. No one talks about that side. Ever. Dude, Lorelai Gilmore, though. Man, I didn't grow up on the Gilmore Girls. I didn't see it till I was an adult. I'm not kidding you. I watched the Gilmore Girls, Good Morning Genova, because an aunt of someone I was dating told me that I reminded them of Lorelai Gilmore. And I was like, who the fuck is that? Did you just speak another language? What's that word you've said? Lorelai, I had no idea. So I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I get it. It's the cumpocalypse. Like, think of the state of their sheets. When a couple is trying, their sheets could probably snap like a fucking sheet of plastic. No one thinks about that part. Hot hit. Oh my god, I'm loading a bowl. Don't get sweaty. Don't get sweaty. Stop it. No. I know, it's so gross, but it gets your mom to stop asking those questions real fast. First law of thermodynamics, you can't win. Second law of thermodynamics, you can't break even. Church touring thesis, you can't quick the game. Quick the game, quit the game. True. Talk about a roundabout way to ask if you're trying to give her grandchildren. I'm saying. I just am tired of being asked and shamed for not wanting to breed when I can't even like barely afford myself. I also came up with a metaphor of sorts. It's like I put paint on a rusted boat. Eventually the boat's gonna start chipping paint and the rust will show again. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's you go in circles. Yeah, exactly. A cream pie, and then you put your legs up on a wall and your hips elevated for 20 minutes and sit there and like make sweet eye contact. Like, how romantic was this? This is a story we'll tell at the wedding, right? you know, Childbirth is weird. My mom had like 12 miscarriages trying to conceive me, and she eventually, someone at work gave her and I'm quoting, a Chinese incense stick, which she lit and waved around her pussy and conceived me. So I don't know. People are crazy. How do I have baby when I am a baby? Yeah, I feel that on a spiritual level. Cheers. Let's watch some fucking Legal Eagle. I don't even want to say to my mom that I kissed a woman. I'm 48. I mean, I don't like have conversation. Like, I guess I do. I don't know. My family's a little bit different. Like, I think it's the medical part, but like, growing up, I'm just packing my bowl down. Growing up, our normal dinner time conversation was my mom was still in her scrubs. Like, she would come home from work at like 9 o'clock at night, cook dinner for 8 children and a hungry husband, which still to this day, I don't know how she did that and didn't murder us. But then we would sit around the table and be like, Mom, would you pull out of someone's butt today? And she'd tell us all the stories of the hospital and what she pulled out of butts that day. So it's like, that kind of language is, we're very liberal household. Body stuff isn't really seen as like taboo. Although she does not like me talking about cream pies. Like, let's not be clear. Let's be clear. That's not that just stops the conversation. I'm saying that on purpose because I want the conversation to stop. Oh my God, Luda, can you fucking imagine? I once got dared to text my dad asking him if he knew what the clitoris is. He did not respond. Well, oh my God, but he responded? Damn it. Dude, Revoltcon, fuck yes. Right, Kendall? I mean, I definitely have tried to make the conversation stop in nice ways. I just want to be clear. Like, my entire existence, even as a child, my mom, every mom says to their little girl, someday you're going to grow up and get married and have babies. And even when I was a little kid, I'd be like, I don't want babies. I'd like to have a house, a mansion just lined with reptiles. Like, that's all I wanted as a kid. No interest in babies. I didn't like dolls or Barbies. Like, just wasn't my thing. And my mom loves babies. She wanted 12. She fucking is obsessed with them. So it's really, really hard for her to understand that her daughters don't want. Like, I love kids. I just have never had that instinct to do it myself. I don't want to. I'm good. I like my dogs. Yes, mother, he's trying very hard to load me up with his doom seed. I'm gonna use that. The doom seed. That's fucking beautiful. The fucking doom seed. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Well, that's same, Kona. Like, my parents, I've told you that it's. I think everybody at one point heard their parents fuck. Like, good for them. At least they were still getting some. But the way my house was built, like the house that my dad designed, it was like a hexagon, like a 3-story hexagon, like a layer cake. And the basement, the daylight basement, that's where I lived. And then there was the middle story that was just a completely open floor plan, but like the actual literal floor was split in half. Half was carpet and half was like stone tile. Half was a kitchen, half was a living room. And then the top floor was where my parents' bedroom was, and my little sister. Well, I think my brother Corey lived there at the time. I had a lot of siblings. We moved around. Top floor like that, but the top floor was only like half of the hexagon. And then they had French doors. It was so stupid. They had French doors, a 6-inch balcony, and then there were these windows that extended from the middle floor up to the ceiling of the top floor, like a lake house. If you guys have ever seen the quintessential poop brown lake house, that's what my parents built. But when they would fuck, it would rattle those goddamn French doors like it was the apocalypse. And I swear to fuck, I'd have friends come over and we'd, have a sleepover, stay up late at night, sneak up to the kitchen in the middle of the night to get a snack. And all of a sudden it'd be, and we'd just be like, oh my God. And you'd just freeze. It was horrible. And I would say something. I'd be like, you realize. And they would laugh. They thought it was the funniest fucking shit in the world. Like, can you not fuck when my friends are over? Fuck! I mean, it was so, you could hear it all. I mean, it was loud. It was, I mean, an echo chamber. If you can picture that, like, from the second floor to the top to the third floor was one entire window. And that's where their French doors were. So those French doors faced that 2 floors of windows that echo. And it was just like, through the entire house. And they thought it was but so many questions. That house was the weirdest house. My dad designed it. It was very bizarre. But like, when I was even younger in a different house, my parents' door and my door were kitty corner like this, and we had a wood fire stove downstairs. And to keep it warm in the winter, they would light the wood fire stove and open everyone's bedroom doors, so then the wood fire, like the warm air could get into our bedrooms. 2 a.m., you hear like, and me being a light sleeper, I'd be like, oh my God! Sneak into my sister's room. I slept with my sister a lot. Like, at least they're getting some, but for fuck's sake, be cognizant of the room. Stop. The macaroni noises. Yeah, it's just like the weird semi-dry, semi-wet noises that like I was so young, like I didn't know what was happening, but I knew what was happening. And I was just like, fucking gross. Shut the fuck up. My parents just said my mom was having a bad dream and he was trying to wake her up.
Dear sweet God, with his penis, that's an episode of Nip Tuck. Cheers. It's really cold.
Assert dominance by getting off to it. We did the trailer family house too. Actually, I moved so much as a kid. Seriously, we lived in a trailer for a while. We lived in an old rundown Victorian for a while, and then my parents built their own house. We did the trailer one for a while. That was the kitty corners, thin walls. Oh, thin walls. I'd like to say let's watch something more positive, but honestly, I don't know. It's about Trump, so like, I don't know. Wait. There's an OG YouTuber who told the story of how weirdly open his parents were about it. His parents had separate bedrooms. At night, he'd see his dad walking naked from the dad room to the mom room. Naked? Okay. No shit. Side tangent. My sister's best friend in high school, her parents were middle school teachers. One was the English teacher and one was the history teacher in our middle school. Super small town. So like we knew them intimately. And when she became friends with their daughter, I learned that they had robe night. I can't remember what night of the week it was, but like there was a night of the week where it was just known in the household that mom and dad were in their robes and don't go in the basement. I still can't look at him right. I don't know what to do with that at all. I know. How about that video? I just don't know if it's like more happy or not, but we're here for it. This is Trump is not immune to persecution, so I'm hoping it's positive. It was like not an unfinished creepy basement. It was like one of those old, I want to say like 60s, 70s homes where they had like carpeted stairs that went down into kind of a den basement that was like the TV room and stuff. Like it was the game room. We used to go down there and play games all the time, which is the sickest part because now I know that it was cum covered by my middle school history teacher and English teacher. No, wait, we might have a puppy. Hold on. Someone gave us a puppy. Do we need pre-bleach? Hold on. I think I have a puppy. Yep. We were given a puppy. We have pre-bleach. Just in case. I agree, Genova. I never, ever, 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 ever want to be in a state in my life where I have to plan sex. And that is no shade. I understand certain lifestyles require certain things, but like, never. Oh, holy God. Am I alone in thinking the president should be the person who probably states that no one person is immune from any of that? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Also, someone mentioned the debates. I ain't trying to bring up the age discussion here because we all know that the two people running for president are just fucking hella old. But imagine the debates between them. Oh. He's real smooth at those. That's legal. Please go follow him. He's amazing. They make the justices hard to remove so the party doesn't clear the benches every election. Yeah, Supreme Court is super fucking fucked. Yeah. Fuck that shit. If we can get through deselected, if we can get enough deselected, we can... Deselected. What's funny is it's funny, but like, no. We can expand the Supreme Court and make those rotten judges a non-issue, which would be incredible. Because, God, they're rotten. Fuck, dude. They're rotted. Just to the fucking core. Rotted. Absolutely. And it's very sad. I mean, we talk about it here a lot, but, you know, the kind of people that want to be in politics are probably not the people we want in politics. Back, you know, etc. You know what I mean? Fuck you, sir. I need to remember. Do you remember? I don't understand enough about it to even, like, it's just, I feel like I'm consistently lost when it comes to politics. I think that happens to the vast majority of politicians in any election year. I fucking hate election years because it's like, they get elected and then they get honest for a couple years and they do everything they want to do. Like the Biden, group, whatever the fuck the word is for it, they've done more politically for us than like anyone before him in many, many years. But then they start getting all during election year because they want to appease everybody. It's like please everybody. Every politician does it. They become mush. Fucking there's it's just so annoying. I don't understand how some of these people can even sleep at night with some of the decisions they made. I don't understand it either, honestly. I don't understand. It baffles me. Seriously, they're just evil. I know I have a couple of music videos from each of I have uh some stuff that doesn't look fun at all, but then there was some songs, Ian McConnell, and then something else. But then like Project 2025, the new fascist playbook. Why do I want that? What is that? Why do I want that? Surf the internet, my dudes. It's a crazy place. Yeah, I love that, Kenny, honestly, as a Wiccan. And it harm none, do as ye will. Yep. It's such a pure, like, simple statement to take forth into the world, I think. Really. It's it's something that a lot of people can't grasp, but it's not that bad of a thing. Hold on. My vote will count. This is the one you gave me, right, Viata? With the yellow hair. I believe so. I really like a lot of Grimes music, but man, she bred with Elon Musk so many times, and then I don't know, man. Something's got to be going on, right? It is. I mean, seriously, like it coincides with something Viata said a long time ago that I actually wrote on a post-it note and kept up at my desk for over a year, and I lost it. But it was like in terms of how I vote the path of least harm, and I love that. Like it coincides with that a lot. Thank you, Sexcellent. There's Sexcellent just put a link for that song in the chat if anybody wants to keep the song. It was great. I really do enjoy that. I was talking about this yesterday, man. I've had a significant happy Valentine's Day, little sister. I almost missed you. I mean, I miss you all the time, but you know what I'm saying. Um, I've been single and in relationships on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a stupid holiday. It's stupid no matter what. Honestly, if you love someone, love them all the time. Don't wait for a holiday that just makes you shitty, in my opinion. I'm saving that song. Hold on, that was so good. I mean, there's a lot of right wingers are super religious, and what's religions like? A lot of religions like what's the word? They're like what they stand by is the lack of education, right? Don't ask questions, don't seek knowledge, don't educate yourself beyond what they offer. I mean, bigotry is definitely part of that package, 100%. Oh shit, pulled more links than I needed. Hold up, I got that one. I got that one. How the fuck? How did this get a sequel? There's like good horror out there, and then there's this shit. Why, that's exactly what I just said, Glut. Why the fuck did this get a sequel? Uh, I, I'd like some decent horror now, please. What the fuck? Why? Horror movies are insanely cheap to make. So, like, why not make something good? Is it suddenly not cheap if it's good? Just like the fuck. It's literally right, Chibi. It's just riding the train of like the free license of Winnie the Pooh and Mickey, right? They know they'll get eyes on it because those two big Disney whatevers are what is it? Open so I always forget the term for it. It's fuck. They hit that point where anybody can use them. Steamboat Willie. Yeah, what is that called? I forgot the term. Open source, open license. Every time my brain is so stupid. Free use, public domain, yeah. They know they'll get easy eyes. And it's just, it's so boring to me. I don't know. I just want something original. Yeah, it's like free commercial, free marketing, exactly. Yeah. There's good B horror movies. Then there's this. I don't know. I don't, um, meh. Name recognition is proven to sell. Why put work into something when you get paid for a name? I know. Weird. Why spend every moment of your life designing a completely original system that no one's familiar with? Who would do that?
Dun dun.
Dum.
My dog's today. I just don't know what to do about you. You're so needy. Why? Why? We have such delights to show you. Free use of something. Oh God, no.
Don't do that. No. No. Don't do that. I'm the same, young. I don't know if it's personal, like, but Hellraiser, right? Or I'm trying to think of just some of like the God, was it the Babadook? It's not the scariest thing in the world, but something that really freaks me out is things that just can kind of move around the house and I can't see them, but they can see me. And it was like the hands popping out of wardrobes and doing like the shit. Or I think it was the House on Haunted Hill, not the original one, the one that made in the 90s with not with Catherine Zeta-Jones, the other one. There was two movies made at the same time. One was like The Haunting, and then one was House on Haunted Hill. The actual scary one, not the one about ghost babies that wanted a new mommy. That one was dumb. But the other one, oh my God, that one where she's like filming in the basement and then she suddenly starts seeing like the mental patients in the basement, but only through her video camera. And they do that creepy like shit with their face. Oh no. And they move super fast. The Others. Oh my God, The Others is easily one of the best scary movies ever. And I mean, talk about low budget. I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you've never seen The Others is like a weird pinnacle movie for me. Like when I'm in the mood for horror, I oftentimes Google movies like The Others because I want more like that where it's just like undeniable suspense and it doesn't turn out to be aliens. It's so good, right? Man, and it's just putting a Disney mask on a serial killer does not make a horror movie for me at all. True crime's gonna beat anything you try to write, put whatever mask you want on them. It's not scary. But there's so much good fucking horror out there. I mean, those I think of very specific scenes because there's certain things like that weird, like jittery, glitchy movement when the ghost or whatever can move faster than you, like kind of does that blinking, like, blah, 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 but their face does the. I just can't with that. And I know it's in multiple movies. I think in Silent Hill, the creepy nurses do it. You know, the things. Oh, I don't know why. That shit gives me such creeps. Dolls are scary as fuck. Are you kidding? Anything that is a doll is scary, but I don't think I wouldn't say like if someone was like, hey, Katie, you like horror? Can you suggest some horror? I would not throw out doll movies because not everyone's just specifically afraid of dolls and clowns. That's just me. That's just me. 1408, was that the one with what's his name? I'm doing the stereo over my head movement. Cusack. John Cusack. Yeah, the stereo. Yeah. That movie is fucked. That gave me a lot of anxiety. I think I did watch Malignant, Sarah, and it says it's watched, but remind me what it was about. Because it keeps being re-suggested to me, but I think I've watched it. Oh my God. 13 Ghosts. Yep, that's one where they do that. Oh my God. It's the insane. I think she's called the Jackal or something. but she has the cage on her head. She does the shit in the yeah, that one. That can go fuck itself. Um, there was another one I was thinking of. My sister reminded me of it. Oh God, what was it? Oh, I don't know why you reminded me of this, Sarah, because I don't even think we watched it together. But it was we talked about this movie recently. It was the one. It's an Italian movie. I think it's just called The Platform. But essentially, you could apply to be in this prison for X amount of years, and if you survived, when you got out, you had a degree and you could get a job. Do you guys remember which one I'm talking about? It has nothing to do with the shakiness, but that, I don't know if you'd consider that's a horror movie to me. That movie was scary as fuck. That shit, oh my God. Or the cube, that was scary. The platform, yeah. Oh my God. That one still kind of fucks with me. If you haven't seen the platform, is it still on Netflix? It's very good. Very, very good. Very weird. I mean, it's not like your quintessential, like there's no horror bad guy, but the concept of it is really fucked up. So it's, you apply to be in this prison. If you survive for X amount of years, when you get out, you have a degree. And like they kind of imply that's a really big deal. Like you can't get a job or make any money without a degree. And what happens is you get a random level in what's presumptuously just this tower of never-ending levels. And it's I don't know how to explain it. Imagine just a straight up tower, but there's only like 6 feet of cement around the edges and then a hole down the middle. And every day, this platform mystically starts lowering from the top floor all the way to the bottom with food on it. And if you're one of the people that's lucky to be on floor one, you get first pixies of the food. It's beautiful, like luxurious, the banquet table of your dreams. But if you are unlucky enough to be level 100, you get bones and scraps and you starve to death. And the concept of it and like the theoretical conversations the two roommates have together, it's just very unsettling, but in a good way. Like a real good movie. Cube was good, right? I saw the clip of it in part 2. The contortionist did the same thing. In the new It or the old one? Cube 3 Ice Cube, shut the fuck up. The DVD extras of 13 Ghosts was way scary. They cut out all the scary parts. I think they tried making it sexy. Seriously, like the scariest part to me in that movie, aside from the jackal and overall the concept of the movie, was when the daughter, they come to the house for the first time and the daughter's in her bathroom, like looking at herself being all cute in the mirror, and the fucking unaliving herself prom queen or whatever happened to her is in the bathtub behind her, and they're like blood and all the cuts, and it does that like creepy flash as she like turns to look at the girl, and then suddenly she's standing behind the alive girl, like, and she starts like looking at herself all pretty. Oh my God. I still think about that sometimes when I look in the mirrors. Like I'm like, that that was 13 Ghosts. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. That's what I was saying though. If you watch the extras, there's way more to almost every single character in the movie. They cut out so much. Like the DVD extras add so much. Like they actually give a lot more backstory on every single ghost character. I remember there's actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Glet, but I had the DVD way back in the day. There was like a wheel and you could actually, it was like an astrology wheel, but it was all the ghosts, the 13 ghosts, and you could click on it and then the DVD would take you to like a little narrated, like here's the history of that character kind of thing. Yeah, I had that. I don't know where it is. I had that DVD for years though. It's somewhere. Yeah, that ghost has the huge fucking knockers. Very jelly. Yep. How the people at the top leave none for the bottom. Exactly. Oh yeah. I mean, it's very creepy. The Black Zodiac. Yeah. Dude, I haven't watched that movie in a while. There's one song in it. I believe in people something. I believe in people. Oh my God. It was in Queen of the Damned too. I believe in. Da-na-na-na. What is that song? Hold on. It's in Ghost Ship too, right? It's like the quintessential horror movie song. You know the exact song I'm talking about. Yeah. I think it might have been in. I think it was it like the theme song for Charmed for a few years. Hold up. Uh, I believe it's literally just called. Is it I Believe or is it Tricky Excess? Is it gonna be that one? Wow, I haven't heard this in a very long time. Weird. Seriously, that was like in every fucking horror movie for so long. Wow. According to the Googles, it says it's tricky excess, but who the fuck am I? Cute picture. Oh yeah, this song. It's the scene when she walks into the bar in Queen of the Damned. I remember that. I watched that movie 50 million times with my sister as a child because Lestat. No shit, it did the same to me. Look at this. I looked up just 13 Ghost song. And the first one that came up was Excess. No shit. Or not Excess. It was the one you said. I swear to God. Oh my God, it changed. I swear it showed exactly what you had. Okay, it's gone now. It's gone. I swear it was there. Yeah, Blade, Queen of the Damned, absolutely. Like those were just quintessential for our youth. Yeah. I mean, it's such an old song. Wait, Sorlin, I've heard this theory before. I kind of dig it. Mary Poppins and Pennywise are the same species of demon, but Pennywise feeds on children's fear, whereas Mary Poppins feeds on their joy. Does she feed on joy? Serious question. Or does she just straight up feed on obedience? I don't know. What the fuck? Rodney. Hold on, we have a couple links. There's a cute one, there's a music one, something political. The Fascist Handbook? Still don't know who. Earlier, I was talking about how the way our house was constructed as children, if my parents chose to love each other in a physical way, it made the whole house shake. Like, horny jailed a lot of you. What in the fucking hell? Where's the spray bottle when you need it? Bad Katie. Wait, wait. Then maybe it's me. Maybelline locks. Because my hair would not whip back and forth all fucking healthy and luscious like that. It would turn into one dread poking straight out of the middle of my forehead like a dildo. That's some beautiful, healthy hair. That's all I have to say. That's in. Oh, Daniel. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's meant to be a dildo head. Yeah. It's my. I mean, C-Town, do I really want to interact with those kind of people, though, that want a hair dildo? Like, there's nothing sanitary about a dildo made of hair. I'm just saying my hair is really fried and it tangles very easily. There's just no. But, like, and then, like, we see things like Daniel and his majesticness, and then Rod's like, lol, I bet I know what Katie. I don't know how to say this. I got the feeling from that a team of people, maybe Travolta included, sat around in a room and said things out loud like, how retarded can we make this guy? Please excuse my language. Just quoting what I think they probably said. Like, can actually picture them like all standing in front of a full-size mirror with Travolta and be like, no, man, we got to make it weirder or something. I don't, that, it felt, wait, it just gets worse. It's directed by Fred Durst. Oh my God. Well, um, true, reasonable, but I would argue that infinitesimally more people with social dysfunction are not serial killers. Like, you can't generalize personal experience, but you want to know something that Zach does every single moment of his life if he's not streaming? He rocks back and forth. Exactly like that. And he's not serial killing. That offends me, but very on a personal level. I can't generalize that. But that's a self-soothing mechanism a lot of neurodivergent people use when they're anxious. It's some stimming, right? Everybody stims. Some people do this. Some people tap a leg. Some people have nervous leg. Like, the most famous serial killers learn to blend in. Heavy blend in. And the reason they end up, like, famous and get away with what they're doing is because they blend in. I'm not saying there's not a lot of weirdos, but it feels like very, I felt personally a little bit like, hmm. I have the nervous leg tick. Like, I'm sure you guys notice I do this all day. I lean, but that's me uncrossing and recrossing my legs in 5 different ways under my desk. I too, all the time. I'm constantly have something, a lighter or a chapstick, and we are all stimming all the time. I mean, anybody who's not neurotypical, I'm sure we're all stimming. It's just something we do. But it felt cringy. It just felt like, I don't know, cringy. It felt a little, I get what you're saying. It's like so bad. Ugh. Statistically, people with mental health issues are more likely to be the victims of violent crime than normies and less likely to be perpetrators. I would believe that. And Rob, that's a whole other, like, we should watch Puppies because that's a whole other bag of things I don't even have the energy for. Rocking, bouncing, fidgeting, it's how I regulate my nervous system. Same. Yeah. The whole concept of relax. Fuck you. Hi, anus. How are you, love? Like, why can't you just sit still? Sorry, incapable. It's impossible. Oh, they made a guy up 100%. I mean, he's an amalgamation, right? Which movie is this one reasonable? Hold on. Ever heard of the smiling depression? I read something about it in an article. Here's what it said. Smiling depression is especially dangerous because it's more difficult to detect than other types of depression. So teens don't get the support and treatment they need. In addition, people with smiling depression may be at a higher risk of suicide. What is it? Like, is it part of the DSM? Like, is it a real thing? Like, what is it? Or is it just like my era that masks so heavily is now the parents of this new generation, and our kids are learning to mask even better than us to the point where we can't diagnose what's going on because their mask is so fucking thick. So basically that, because like I would get that. Yeah, we need I'm looking. I'm gonna get I have no palette refresh right now. I don't think everything is like political bullshit. Hold on. We have to have something good, right? You guys had to give me something cute, right? You didn't. That's fine. It's an election year. I expect the misery. Oh, Ruby. Fuck. I have that one. Hold on. That's a different tab. Thank you. I have to save that last song. Hold on. I put it on a wrong tab. 1 second. I must save you, bitch. Ruby J. Is that her YouTube name? Yes. Ruby J is the YouTube name of the beautiful goddess we just listened to, by the way. Please go follow and like, and I will put the link in chat if anybody would like to keep. And go give all the support. You ever just find yourself holding a boob? Maybe she needed a hug. I mean, you know what it is? Honestly, I find artists like that all the time where it's like they have like 100 likes on a song that is now my favorite song ever. It's just as it's like there's too much. We're drowning in it. I get exhausted from trying to find new interesting music all the time. I truly get so fucking tired of the struggle to find literally anything, and I feel like these people get buried by crap, by top like this is no shade on the Swifties or Swift fans, but like there's so much music out there, and I feel like some people get like critically obsessed with someone like Taylor Swift to the point where they self-identify as like a Swiftie, like that's their life now, and they stop looking for new music. And it's like these are some of the most obsessed people in the world, and they could make anyone go viral potentially, but they just won't stop listening to Taylor Swift. Fuzzy cute things today. Yeah. Oh, let me grab it. Hold on. She literally looks at the camera and be like, I think she's telling that cameraman, like, this is going to be you. I can't remember, but the full clip, the like documentary talks about how, like, most big cats have a ridiculously low rate of success hunting. Like leopards and jaguars and stuff like that, whereas these guys have this crazy, like, 60% kill rate. It's wild. Literally, it's like your cat grabbing your sock and looking at you with those dilated pupils like, bitch, try, under the bed. And, like, I haven't had a cat in almost 20 years, and I know better than to reach my hand under that bed. You're an idiot if you're reaching under that. Big Tiger, did I? I have a lot of links. I might have. What is it? I don't know. Do you know the title? Probably. I have a lot. Hopefully. We'll see. This is the next all about, like, make an Instagram, let me enjoy them, and make money off of it to support this kitty. Like, if me liking this video 20 times make it so you can buy this poor little kitty some food, yes. Now, if you have ever looked at that cat wrong, let alone abused it, I will light you on fire personally. So, that's our trade-off. Take it or, run. Dog cute. Wait, why is it muted? God damn it. I Okay, I have two things. First thing, Rottweilers are perfect and I love them so much. Second thing, do you know where this audio comes from? Because the guy who actually makes the audio for these is fucking hilarious. I follow him on Instagram. Like, this audio is a mulleted person who does really creepy pickup lines in like super tight jorts. No shit. Did they credit the guy? No, which I find offensive. The fanny pack. You know the dude I'm talking about, right? Yeah, he like skates up to the cam and is like, you look like a piece of bread or whatever. Yeah. No shit. They didn't credit him. Like, you're a Roddy owner. Be better. Represent us in a good light, motherfucker. Give credit and stop stealing audio. I don't know. I don't see a credit anywhere. But no shit. 1 second. I'm gonna try to find him. Because we gotta give credit. I mean, they're both great, but like 1 sec. Oh, I don't know his name. Found him! You guys want to know what I Google food? Mullet man on roller skates, pickup lines. But no shit, that's how easy it was to find. Are you gonna kiss me or am I gonna lie to my diary tonight? I fucking can't breathe. Holy shit. Dude, I have such a bad memory though. I'd literally have to write them down. I'd have to sit down and write them all down and read them off piece of paper. I have the worst memory. I would do it. I won't remember it. Like, I have to write them down. I'll fuck it up. I can't. Okay, hold on. There's no rush. He's live for hours. Don't worry. But I mean, I'll do it, but I gotta listen to this and write some of them down. Which ones were the best ones? The magician? Magician one was great. Are you gonna kiss me tonight or am I gonna lie to my diary? That made me choke. Let me see. I gotta get a piece of paper. I gotta get one shirt. We'll write it down. Seriously, it's terrible. I have the worst short-term memory ever. I can't. Hold on, let me hear his. I can't do it. Maybe. We'll work on it. Hold on. I just have no memory. It's embarrassing almost. I wish I could just wrote these, like, remember them and just do it. No memory whatsoever. No pen, apparently. Who is she? The lie in my diary really killed me. Hold on. What was it? See, seriously, this is how fast it is. Abracadam. Jesus Christ. And then, are you gonna kiss me tonight? That one was pretty good. Oh man. Yeah, did you swallow some magnets because you're attractive? That was like the first one in one of them. That was a good one, yeah. Oh my god, are you a mirror? Dude. Are you a mirror? Because I can really see myself in you. Oh, that's. Okay. Did you buy those pants on sale? Because they're 100% off at my place. Is that. Are you guys just because these are great. On a scale of 1 to America, how free are you tonight? Stop it. On a scale of America? Jesus Christ. On a scale of 0 to America, how free are you today? Jesus Christ. I should just screenshot chat and print it, but I'm not that. I've already started. We're already here. Are you related to Jean-Claude Van Damme? Because Jean-Claude Van Damme, you're sex. Oh my god, did he say? How did I miss these ones? I think it's because I gasp and just like lose my mind on some of them. I was like, if you are what you eat, I want to be you in the morning. Tired, grumpy, and full of pee. I can ruin anything. I feel like this guy is dressed exactly like Jean-Claude Van Damme and would do that. Hold on, let's listen to this. Let's see if I mean, I guess I don't have, or I can't find. That was going to be funny, but it's non-point, so I can't find it. But I do have giant paper. Because of course I do. finding it. I'm just glad this is the real version of the fucking song that has the rap in it, because the radio always cuts out Left Eye, and it's like, it feels very insulting. Side note, what are we doing? Okay, so y'all, we were watching this guy say funny pickup lines, and y'all were like, you should go do that to Zach. And I was like, okay, so I started writing them down. I actually looked up some more while I was out with the dogs that I was gonna. You make my legs want to socially distance. That one's funny. I found some more while I was out there. Where was the other one? I'm no weatherman, but you can be expecting about 6 inches tonight. That one made me laugh. What has 142 teeth and holds back the Incredible Hulk? My zipper. I think you're suffering from a lack of vitamin me. That made me laugh. Oh my god. I would have pegged you as my Valentine, but you didn't. Oh. I want to write that down. That's pretty good. But yeah, this guy made this. That just one dark line work is the worst, man. Right down your throat. Youch. I mean, good on you, dude, but ow-wee. That just makes me think a lot of ow. Ow. What's the most fucky voice? I mean, probably something I don't even have programmed. You can do so much on these voice modulators. The only I have like specific things programmed, like Satan's
He's the one that's always here.
but like
You can do anything, really.
I mean, you could like what's do I use this now? Do I use this for anything? No, you can like you can
You can really pitch yourself and get super weird.
or like
This way hurts me. You get weird. But like, it all depends on
what you want to do with it. You can go all the way. The reverb is the weird. Hold on, get echo off. Reverb. This one does. I don't know. Something weird to it. Reverb's fun. You can do all the things. Yeah. So you've got like presets like hard tune, robot, and megaphone, and then you have 4 wheels to edit those as you want. But then within the software of GoXLR, there's actually separate presets for robot, megaphone, and hard tune. So there's like lots of options with it. Yeah, you can do almost anything with it. The auto-tune one, it's okay, but it like so here's one. This one doesn't have auto-tune on it. The moment I put hard tune, it like usually makes it sound there. When I stop talking, you hear like a beep. I don't know what that is. If there's something wrong with it, hard tune can fuck with shit.
shit though. But yeah.
There's some I'm such a good singer. Hard tune. Yeah, it's you can robot hard tune, but like there's different robots. You can go all over the place. It's kind of fun. It's not like everything, but it's a lot, if that makes sense. Hold on. So you got this robot, this robot, this robot. I guess those are different. This robot. You know what I'm saying? You can get fucking annoying with it. Hold on, I think. Oh, no shit. No hard tune. Hard tune. No hard tune. Hard tune. No hard tune. Hard tune. What the fuck? I don't know what that does. No one will ever know. Help. I know. It's gross. I know. This is, Robot 3, Robot 2, Robot 1. Of a stoner robot? I mean, isn't that, Bender, but like booze? It sounds terrible. We hates is it? That's the megaphone. Megaphone has multiples too. It's pretty cool. Go XLR is pretty useful if they just like didn't go under. The names though. This is called Tweed. Tweed. Buzz cut. Overdrive. On the phone. Radio. Megaphone. It's all megaphone need, but like. You think megaphone? This one? For Alistair, he has more like distortion, I feel like. I wonder if you put. If I wrote. Oh god, too much. It's like. Hold on, I have an idea. What? Nope. Definitely not that. It's got, you know what I'm saying? But like a little less. I was gonna less it. Less it, bitch. Like Robot the Megaphone, but like less. Because he's gotta have that like glitch and the static, yeah. Because without the robot, it's a little too. This is like him all the time. This is Alistair all the time. How you doing, folks? Yeah, but then like when he gets a little bit, and then he goes back to normal, you kind of have to flop. But then you get 6 presets where you can save all of these, which is kind of cool. That's the nice thing. That's how I have Satan on there, and I've literally like I've sent the details of the settings for Satan to so many different people because I am fucking nervous I might lose it. Because I don't know, like the moment Satan
doesn't sound like this, everybody calls it out. Everybody. 3 people instantaneously. That sounds wrong. What happened?
So I keep Satan clear and cleansed and good to go. Yeah, it's almost like you need that microphone sound of like an old-timey microphone. Oh my god, my mouse just accidentally scrolled so much of chat. Don't do that. Yeah, but there's only 3 presets for the megaphone, which kind of sucks. Was it this one? Yeah, this one. Hard tune. No, nothing. I wonder. Does he have echo? No. I don't know. I'd have to fuck with it. There's got to be a way to add static. Without this. Because it's a little too breaky. It's like too digital. It needs to be more old-timey breaky. You know what I mean? I wonder. Now you guys got me stuck on looking at robot shit. How dare you? I wish I could just. I want to take the robot down. Take it down. Does this take it down? No. I don't know. It's too much. It's too much. It's too fucking much. It's nobody's fault. Well, I mean, like I don't have a track, and I'm never gonna claim to have a fucking track. Oh, dude, this guy. I mean, okay. I don't know what it is. He has the most impressively low voice in the entire world, but it's like the one person and low voice in the world that I find not attractive and borderline very creepy, and I don't know why. He's great. You guys like someone from my past. I don't know. There's something about, and this is terrible, but that hella masculine face that has like overtly kind eyes makes me incredibly uneasy. It's not probably good. But there's like this like I don't know. He's probably a wonderful human. I'm projecting. That's it. He could sing to my clit, and I'd still probably find him creepy. I don't know. It's the eye contact and his like this. I can't even do it, but those like pitiful, sad, kind eyebrows make me think you're gonna touch me in the dark when I don't want you to. It's a terrible thing, and I don't know why. I'm trying to think. That dad from like every horror movie ever that had to do with Annabelle, he has those eyebrows and those eyes and that face. I don't know the actor's name. He's in all of them, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. He has like this. I can't even do it. I don't have it. They do this. Oh, I'm kind. Look at my eyebrows looking kind. And I'm like, you're going to touch me. I have a problem. It's fine. Oh my God, what is that? Glut, what is that? Why does that make me think of that person? Ooh, is it a good stop? I erased. Corey Taylor has one of the best voices that have ever existed in the history of the world. Ever. Like, I'm not saying the best, but one of the best, in my opinion. Hold up. Oh, dude, it's a Stone Sour cover. Still Corey Taylor, but I didn't know. Cheers. Very true, Mayo. It's absolutely why. It's always good to better yourself and to recognize that just because someone is creepy to you doesn't make them a creepy person. Thoughts aren't facts. That aside, like, we do a procedure where we do a cricoid hold. So if you just anatomical differences, if we're going to do a trach, like instead of intubating you through the mouth, or we're going from a mouth intubation to a neck intubation because you're going to be intubated so long that we don't want your mouth open existentially, we do something called a cricoid hold, where I literally position my finger. I feel for that Adam's apple bone. Mine's like right in, you really can't see mine. Mine's really deep. I feel for that and I hold it, and the doctor cuts. And we hold it still so we don't like slice through your vocal cords, you know what I mean? It's pretty fucking wild, but we hold that. So I was wondering if the bone's actually the cricoid or if it's the hyoid and the cricoid's the, you know, the modal. I don't know. It's been too long now. So it's the cricoid. The bone is the cricoid. Is the hyoid, I wonder, the hyoid is something. Hold on. Sorry, we went nerdy for a second. I went charisma. I mean, the anatomical stuff. I mean, truly, this guy is an anatomical marvel. You guys can't deny. This guy's, that range is unbelievable. Oh, your hyoid is the bone that supports your tongue. I maintain my license, so I still actively practice in that I go to classes and I take the curriculum and do the BLS and shit like that because I don't want to lose my medical license, but I'm not working in a hospital currently, not at all. Oh my God, maybe, Kendo. Everything's connected to everything, let's be real. Tom, you haven't missed, I mean, you've probably seen this before, but it's worth seeing again. I need a burp. I maintain my medical license, so when you graduate from school with your degree, you have to go then pass a circus of like nationally accredited tests you have to pay to take, and that's what gives you your actual like board certified medical license to practice in the state you're in or the country, whatever kind of license you have. I maintain that, so I still like go do continuing education, do my BLS and stuff like that because I'm never gonna let that go. I worked way too fucking hard for that license. And the moment you let that shit lapse, it's gone forever. You cannot get it. You have to go back to school. It's a terrible time. I'm never doing that again. So I keep that. But honestly, doing this for a living is just like way less death. It just got to a point where the system, the medical system, the American medical system wore me down really fucking fast. I think that was partially my fault in that I went from like 0 to 60, you know, like started my respiratory career and immediately went and worked at Hopkins, like really early on in my career. I just got super burnt the fuck out. In like, and I remember looking around at like other respiratory therapists who had been respiratory therapists for like 40 plus years. And they 100% miserable. Their bodies were broken the fuck down from the type of work we do. Their personal lives were just like, in their own words, like many different pieces. And I mean, I've known respiratory therapists my entire life, my mom included. And like, I looked at that, and like nursing too, like their bodies break the fuck down. We do martyr ourselves to take care of humans. And I looked at that and I was like, at the rate that my generation's going, like, I'm not 100% sure there's going to be any form of retirement or anything. Like, I'll probably have to work till I die, and my body's not going to last that long. Like, what do I do? It was a really tumultuous point, and I still deal with some guilt about it. I know shit, literally, I quit right before COVID, like months before it hit. It was wild. Weeks, some like months, actually. It was wild. Really good timing. I lost 5 different friends to COVID. Like, it was a terrible time. And you know what's crazy, Robo? Medicine started to feel very salesy. Like, we would have salespeople come in all the time and try to, talk us on a new ventilator or a new BiPAP or a new mask for a BiPAP or something like that all the time. And we weren't ever pushed for like incentives, but it was almost like if a company came and did a presentation for something, they would give us a bunch of like swag shit to use, and our managers would like push us to use it to prove to these companies that we tried it out just so we could say no. And I just feel like I shouldn't be involved in any of that. Like, I want to practice medicine. I want to know that the hospital I work for I can trust to get the equipment that's going to be the best equipment possible, and that this isn't some fucking weird political jam we're working on in the background. You know what I mean? I mean, Music Man, how else did, like, my bio dad, no shit, he was a respiratory therapist. His mom was a respiratory therapist. She was an inhalation therapist nun before respiratory therapists existed. And my dad actually went into sales because the money is so good in selling ventilators versus actually working as a respiratory therapist. Like, you go into sales of medical equipment, you're going to retire in your 50s. You work as a respiratory therapist, you're going to die on the floors. It's really backwards, but that's the way the world works, unfortunately. The pharma industry would pay off the doctors regularly. I mean, that still happens. Doctors get spiffs and shit. How did we get on this topic? Anyways, yeah. Oh, that was just a question. So, I mean, I still every once in a while have moments where I'm like, the guilt that I deal with, cheers, happy 420, is that it's one of the few things I really had a lot of confidence in. I know I was a damn fucking good respiratory therapist. Like, I was fucking boss at my job. I had a lot of really good respect from all the doctors I worked with. My nurses and I had a really, really good relationship. I had a damn good job. I mean, it didn't pay good, but it got a great resume. Pay you with exposure. And I deal with that, but like, there's other respiratory therapists. Like, that's very neurotic to think like the world is lacking me. I'm a bacteria, you know? Cheers. It's like lobbyists. That's how it feels. I'm not kidding you. Like, in some states, I think it's state specific, they have laws against, I don't know, I don't even know the terminology for it anymore, but I'll explain it. So when I worked on the West Coast, none of these laws existed. So I could be out on the floors doing a round with my patients and come back to the break room, like our central department where we all kind of meet in between rounds. And a salesperson could just be there with $500 worth of food from somewhere. I can't even think of an example. What's that fucking like bagel soup place everyone's obsessed with? That was something they used to bring us all the time, and it was the only time I'd ever had it, and I thought it was very subpar. Anyways, they would bring Panera. Yep, that exact. Yep. They would bring $500 worth of Panera, and it would be all laid out like a buffet, like in our break room, where, I mean, this is the crazy thing, and I understand why a lot of hospitals have made this illegal for multiple reasons, but like they just spread it out on these tables where we throw our stethoscopes and our jackets and everything in our pockets, our bodies, all night and all day long. And they're just like, food. But, whatever. We're starving. So we would sit there and eat it. And while we eat it, they would start tearing apart a ventilator and talking to us and just sit there and bullshit. On the East Coast, no state I ever lived in was that legal. I never, ever, ever saw a salesperson randomly in our department. And if I did see them, it was a planned meeting. Like, you had to, it would be between shifts. So we would all go and, like, give report while this poor person was trying to show us a new ventilator. And they weren't allowed to bring any food at all. No gifts at all. Because there's a terminology for it, but, like, it's illegal. But yeah, that was a weird thing. And I mean, it was just, we would just smile and nod because we just wanted the food and we're starving. And I never really understood the politics of it, but you definitely got kind of, I think it was about building a rapport. So for instance, if one of my ventilators went down and I couldn't get a hold of tech support, this salesperson knew about ventilators and I could call them, and then suddenly we're talking about their ventilator. I think it's something like that. It feels very much like a conflict of interest, like a quid pro quo. Very much like, let me give you a bunch of serotonin hits, fill you up on sugar, and then talk to you about a new ventilator. Or whatever. I use ventilators as an example because that's like the big money ones. But it could be anything. It could be a tubing, a mask, a fucking nasal cannula. Any new thing. But without that kind of like salesmen working those things into hospitals, the people in charge of buying new equipment have no medical expertise whatsoever, no training, and have no idea what they're doing. They're only looking at the price tag. And that's really scary. So for instance, like the first example that comes to head for me is this new like a home unit you can actually have called a Trilogy that can be a ventilator, BiPAP, or a CPAP. And it's just a small little iPad on a stick. It's fucking incredible, super fucking powerful. And it's intuitive to your syncope of your breathing. So for instance, I'm sure you're well aware that even when you're not talking or doing anything extraneous, your breathing pattern varies. Like, on average, we're breathing, around the same rate, but you have a sigh every once in a while because we'll breathe really shallow and our body reminds us that we're still awake, and we sit up straight and we have a sigh. If you're on a ventilator that was made before 2015, you can't sigh. That ventilator, the moment you tried to do that, the ventilator would like put a rubber stamp over your mouth, cut you off, alarm insanely. I'll come into your room and go, "What's wrong, buddy?" And really, you had no idea because you were asleep. These new Trilogies learn your sigh rhythm and actually will allow you that massive breath every once in a while because it's very natural for the brain to do that. They're incredible, but had this one salesperson like heavily tried to sneak them into hospitals, we wouldn't even know they existed because they're not one of the big brands. They're not like Servo or G. I think they actually are Servo Trilogies now. They were bought out, but they weren't one of the big brands that just get in. There's, GE, Servo, etc. Those just hospitals hear those names and they're like, sure. I don't know the answer to it. It sucks. I always feel for nurses in hospitals. Usually trying to cheer them up whenever they're in my room. Dude, I'm gonna be real. They probably fucking love that. I've said that like the moment I sense with my patient that we have the rapport where we can joke together, everything is easier. Everything is more calm, more relaxed, more open. The conversation is so much more real. The moment, and it's not like we're joking at each other or poking fun, but the moment you know that this person is, I don't know how to say that. I'm a funny person. I guess I rely on humor to alleviate situations. And when that's not a tool I can use with a person, I feel mildly disarmed and I have to find another route, which is totally appropriate and totally okay. But it's so much easier when they have a mild sense of humor. A little bit, and completely understandable. It's really hard when you're fucking in the hospital. Like, Jesus Christ. But I don't know. Some people do it. We started in 2008. We used the drug rep launches, then stopped a few years later. The lunches, yeah. It was nice to get food, but I don't have any say over buying your BiPAP. I don't know why I get all your food, but I guess sure. I remember during orientation, the ethics officer was talking about how she had to kick out sales people because they were bringing pizza to talk about their product. Yep. I mean, it's like, I feel like respiratory is this weird island because I've never seen a respiratory department have their central unit, like their break room, unit room, whatever, their meeting room, our one place we have dev lockers and stuff. It has never been anywhere near patient care areas. It's almost exclusively in a basement or in a tower that's been shut down, like just not in use anymore. Like a tower connected to the hospital, but just not in use. So that's where respiratory gets put. So, like it's not as likely to be deemed inappropriate to see a bunch of people partying and eating a shit ton of food. but I've definitely seen reps try to sneak into a nurse's station. Like nurses' break room, nurses' like rest area is usually in the middle of a circle or a figure eight or some sort of orientation of patient rooms. I mean, we're talking 20 feet away from doors of patient rooms. And when you've got someone coming in there laughing and jiving and trying to get you to eat their food and talk about a product, and patient families can hear this and they're like trying to comfort someone dying, it's just nasty tacky. It's icky, icky, icky. Like, yes, we all have a scope that everyone's living separate lives, but time to place, read the room. And they seem very soulless when they do that because they know what's going on. Hello, Allie, my love. They absolutely are very aware. Like, I've seen people, like a patient codes and everybody stands up and tries to bum rush the door. And the salesperson, like, does not understand the concept of getting out of the door and just keeps talking. And it's like, you shouldn't even be allowed here if you don't understand what everyone's screaming code means. That's where it gets super icky, and I understand. Like, seeing that from that side, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is gross. Yeah, I get it. Very much Mayo, and it's very sad. It's true. I mean, I've seen nurses and respiratory therapists go into sales, and they change a little bit. I bring my nurses donuts and pizza. Oh, they probably fucking love you. I respect the shit out of my nurse. Dude, I'm serious. We're starving. The amount of times, I mean, there's memes about it, and I'm sure you've seen all of them, and they're hilariously accurate. The memes that are like, I'm the first person to tell you to wash your hands after you pee. Have you peed lately? How much have you peed? Are you getting in water and salts, electrolytes, healthy electrolytes? Are you eating things like celery, salty, natural products? I haven't peed in 12 hours, and I cannot physically remember the last time I chewed on something. It's the worst. The fucking worst. We are the absolute grade A worst fucking patients that exist. But it's that creepy martyrdom. You're right. Where's my water? There it is. Are those the folks that make lots of money from waste care? Which folks? Which ones? Like salespeople? What do you mean by waste care? I've never heard the term before. Can you clarify? I'm showing that. Oh, we will. I mean, I don't know how to. You ever have like 10 pairs of wise black lady eyes burn through your soul because they are too polite to physically body check you? But like, that look will alone haunt your dreams for the rest of your waking fucking days. Moments to avoid in life. Ding. Don't be an ignorant chud, man. And then eventually, our inevitable, like, if you've ever seen Nurse Jackie, the best example of the inevitable, like, tech in the ER. Every ER I've ever worked at has a handful of these just monstrous dudes who are literally, they're nurses, and they are hired with the full knowledge that they are there to help us lift. They're huge people. I can't remember the name of the guy in, you know what I'm talking about, in Nurse Jackie. He has the braces and kind of has a lisp halfway through the show. He's fucking cute. He's hilarious. But inevitably, that person will pick up the person that's in the doorway and move them for all the eyes glaring if that person is that, which is common. I don't know what sales do, though, because most of these people are or were medical professionals, and it's like something dies. Money kills your soul. I don't know. It's like stay poor and nice, or I don't know the alternative. The salespeople, yeah, care for end-of-life folks that are kept on machines beyond their wishes for any hope. Man, that is something that is, like, very personal to me. It is, short answer, no. Hospitals are salespeople, yeah, if ever, like, very little to none have any affiliation with hospitals, and we actually hate them. Like, we don't really like when salespeople come in. Like, when hospitals need a new fleet of ventilators, we go look for them. We go to conferences where they actually have showrooms, like car showrooms, but it's ventilators and BiPAP masks and, all that fun, nerdy medical shit. We go to that. We don't, like, You know, it's like how we talk about ads these days. It's not like you're sitting around with a perfect fleet of ventilators and suddenly someone shows up with a bunch of Panera and you're like, you know what? You want to know what? Do you want to fucking know what? I think we may have an extra 2 million in the budget to throw down on a new fleet of ventilators for the touchscreen. What do you bitches think? Eh? I don't know if they think that's going to happen. It's never going to happen. You know, like it wasn't that long ago we were still creating the ventilators from scratch from like tubing and buckets of water. We can still do that. And they just I mean there hasn't been that many new improvements, and in terms of caring for patients, there aren't new modes we're utilizing, but long story short, salespeople have no affiliation with hospitals. So, if you're in a hospital on end of life care, salespeople aren't benefiting from that at all. And truthfully, the hospital really isn't either. It's a really, really complicated question. And I say I hold it really personally because so many of my patients have been kept alive beyond the point of reasonable for ridiculous amounts of time. And I personally have to care for them through that time. And it is of no volition of my own. Like, this person could actually be begging for death, but because their family or something says we're not allowed, we have to continue keeping them on a ventilator and keeping things going. But at the end of the day, these patients, they like a lot of the time they're elderly or otherwise, and they have Medicare and insurance that runs out over X amount of time, and the hospital starts taking on every single bit of that care. So, and like there's actually an entire department in most hospitals, like an ethics department, but also a legal department that works on getting the rights to a patient to terminally extubate them because no one else will do it. And it's very clear there's no positive prognosis and they're just like rotting. It's such a complicated question. Like, you know what I mean? The hospitals max their benefit money they're going to make the more they can do in the least amount of time for you. That's where they bank. But the longer we're just keeping you, it starts to dwindle and then start to go into a negative zone, if that makes sense. Like if you were thinking of it on a graph scale. Like there's a really insensitive term that I've heard a lot of people in the ER use is treat 'em and street 'em. Get them in, get them out as fast as possible. Get the turnover, because the longer you're sitting there, the more likely you are to cough on more surfaces and spread whatever the fuck you're there for. But also, it's just more money, because it's less. I mean, most of the money a hospital's purging is on staff. You see that binder of the arm? Do not make eye contact. Yeah. I mean, really, it's the really nice, like, pantsuit outfit. That's the red flag. Run. You can get rich and not lose your soul. You just takes work to stay grounded. And I think that's the big difference. And seems harder the more money is involved. I got a few rich friends and acquaintances. I do too, and they lost the plot. And it's almost comical to have conversations with them. Like I have a few uncles that are like billionaires at this point. Not uncles, cousins. They're cousins, but like way older than me because I was late in the gen. My mom was one of the youngest, blah, blah, blah. So I've always thought of them as uncles, but they're cousins. And they listening to them talk. And if you just like smile and nod, like maybe you're agreeing or you're not at least disagreeing, and they just keep going, it starts to sound like dementia. Like evil dementia coming out of like just like starts coming out. And I'm like, oh man. But I think it's a case of like you said, like it takes, I don't know if it takes work to just stay realistic with the world because a lot of people manage to do it. It's just, we don't hear about them because they're not in the news because it's not exciting to hear about a rich person who manages to just stay humble. That's not fun news. But like, it's like the echo chamber thing. I think I say that too much, but there's a sense of like, if you surround yourself with people that make the same income as you, you don't feel, or maybe you can kind of like psych yourself out of feeling like you're of that wealth level and that your complaints about your yacht are normal. Does that make sense? But I think it's a choice to do that, to surround yourself with that and want that to become normal. Whereas like some people just like, I made good money, I worked really hard for it. But you're not disacknowledging that, you know? In my health neuro psych class, I got to watch many cases about this. It's gross. It was some of the most heartbreaking shit I've ever dealt with. Like, that's why I say it sounds really insensitive, but like my job as a respiratory therapist, if any of you are ever thinking about going into medicine, you're thinking, oh, respiratory therapist. One of your main jobs, if you work anywhere in the hospital, is something called terminal extubation, where it's the relief of life support. It's when we deem this person does not have a positive prognosis, i.e., they cannot live without said life support, and the family or someone makes the decision that it's time to let them go because God probably said it was time to go weeks ago. And that's my job, is I get to go in and do that. Get to? Stupid language. But it sounds insensitive to say, like, the terminal extubation wasn't the worst part of my job because a lot of the time that was a relief to a lot of people. Like they wanted this relief, pain relief or some sort of relief. I don't want to say relief from life, but you know what I mean. We're not killing healthy, happy people. These are people who were supposed to die, and we just kept them going. We kept that dance card going for some reason. And a lot of the time it's a huge relief. The worst part that was my job was taking care of these patients that were rotting in front of you. And no matter what you did, you could not convince the family or whoever the fuck was in charge of their life that this was happening and they're never leaving. And what are we doing here? You know what I mean? That was the worst ever part of the job. And it's so sad because I understand. I understand. How the fuck do you say, yeah, unplug my mom or my dad or my whatever? Name someone you love. How do you do that? I don't know. I've had the grace that everyone in my life dies of horrific accidents. So, like, don't know. Can't judge. But man, oof. That was probably the most emotionally exhausting part of my whole job. Was just coming in and seeing the same name on your fucking list that's been there for 8 months. And, I mean, it's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? It turns into a really, really sad cycle. It breaks your heart, honestly. And I think a lot of it has to do with just this strange breakdown of communication between medical professionals and people. We're so afraid to use language that will scare someone or offend them, scare them, but they are offended now, that we don't explain, like, we just say, do you want to be a full code? We don't explain what full code means for 98-year-old Nana or Papa. We just say, if their heart stops, would you like us to get it going again? And that right there is a very, very super summarized way of stating what we're going to do to Nana or Papa. You know? And I don't know what the right way is to go about that because it's gross. It's not pretty. And I mean, honestly, coding someone of that age, like, they're not coming back to full health. Like, they're coming back to gurgle goodbye and that's it. It's very sad. It's just like, and I mean, a lot of my job was working in an ICU. So normally what happens is I worked in a surgical ICU especially. So people go into surgery, come into the ICU if they can't go home right away, and then they go to step down units. So I only see people at the worst of the worst of the worst. I don't get to see them leave the hospital, happy, healthy, and healing. I only know how well they did based on if they came back. And that sucks. And that was another part of the job that was just like dark-ish. Do you find yourself I talked to every single patient ever. Ever, ever, ever. Thank you. Kels, no shit. That's an honor. Honestly, I think I was a damn good respiratory therapist. I know I was. I was good at my fucking job. Going the speed limit, this dude literally passed me on a residential street on his phone, 40 miles an hour while on his phone. Had his hazard on and his truck bed full of carpets. What in the ever-loving fuck? That sounds like a movie. That sounds like a hell movie. You know what, Rage? I love that because I can't remember. I want to say it was someone in chat said this, and I said I'm gonna adopt that because I really loved it. But they said, like, I like to think of it as I have a body, not I'm the body who has a soul, and I like thinking of it that way better. Because I mean, like, you guys, I know I've talked about this a lot, but like, I'm not a religious person. Raised Catholic, Absolutely don't buy into that bullshit. I'd consider myself like Wiccan, if anything. I love trees and nature and animals, and I would like to believe fairies exist because fuck, fairies would be cool. And I've seen the little mushroom circles. They're everywhere in Maryland. Those are real. But there is something tactily, palpably very different between a body that is alive and a body that is no longer alive. And I have experienced that exact moment that change occurs thousands of times. I don't even know. And it's there. I feel it. I know it. Something in your animal core knows. I mean, and I'm talking like a patient that looked like they're in a coma, but is alive. Maybe they are cyanotic, they're blue, they're swollen, everything's wrong, but they're alive. You know it. There's something in the core of your fucking animalistic self that knows alive versus not. And like I take that and I take like, you know, my bachelor's very basic knowledge of the chemistry and like the law of conservation of energy, right? Which we have yet to disprove, but like energy can never be created, can never be destroyed. And we are, in layman's terms, a big wet battery, right? Like we're just run by electricity. We all know that not in the most complicated terms, but in the most layman's terms, we're a big wet battery. Where does it go? Where does it go? It can't be destroyed. You dying doesn't mean all that, everything that runs you and makes you goes away and dies. Where does it go? I don't know. But it's gone. And I feel it. I feel it here. You like your core is like, nah. You know it. You know what I mean? There's no words for it. But that's what makes me like wonder. I think about those things a lot and I wonder about those things a lot. Because it's just, there's something. I don't know what it is. When I worked at the cat clinic, we had some elderly cats that would constantly come in a few times a week for fluids. And some of the cats just look so, a few times a week? Good God. Sign up for Do Not Resuscitate as a baby step. My grandma was not having fun in her late 90s and was ready to go in the end. Sad she went, but it was time. Okay. Yes, but one moment. When I was researching rehabilitation facilities, I found the one that states they tracked how many people are sent back to the hospital. Oh, from the rehab unit. When I saw how high it was, I said, "What the fuck are we doing here?" No shit. Washington State, actually, God, my throat is so dry. It was right before I moved away to Baltimore, so this was many years ago. But they passed this new legislation. Excuse me. That stated that if a patient returned to the same hospital with the same admitting diagnosis that they had within 30 days, the hospital had to take on the cost. Beautiful. Hospitals were pissed. And actually, they came after us and they're like, we're going to have to lay off all of our nurses because of this. Are you fucking with me? It ended up being totally fine. We ended up just developing, like I've told you guys about the Better Breathers Club and shit like that we had, where it was a bunch of respiratory therapists that would volunteer to run this 1-hour club in the evening times where we would teach pursed-lipped breathing techniques or how to exercise if you've been diagnosed with COPD, stuff like that. It was totally fine. It's the doctors. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if your patient's not ready to be discharged, first off, what business do you have discharging them so that they're coming back within 30 days? But also, what was happening was, at least this is a big American thing, at least where I've worked. I've never worked. How would you work everywhere? I've only worked on the East Coast and the West Coast. But in my experience, we have a very hands-off approach when it comes to the family and healthcare. And families reciprocate in kind. Like, families do not want to be there for the ickies and the poopies and the smellies and oftentimes leave of their own volition, even though we are very much like, would you like to stay? Would you like to help? Whereas I've had patients that came from other countries and their children and their spouse insist on helping with everything and learning everything. And I remember at first I thought this was very annoying. But then I talked to someone that was in my department about it who was actually from Nigeria. And she was like, Katie, do you fucking realize how disconnected Americans are from their families and from the healthcare of their own families? And we pulled up this whole thing of statistics from Hopkins that stated, like, in other countries, because families are so intensely involved in the care, they're actually able to take their family members home in half the time, which means you're not getting that bill, and the family members recover to closer to full function than they ever would have before because their family is there harping on them and making them get better the whole time because they know it all. My nurses have never asked if my wife wanted to help. No shit. Well, we're kind of not allowed to anymore. It might offend you. We're not allowed to, but if they offer, we're allowed to. I'm not kidding you, dude, McTaggart. So I'm assuming because y'all have been here for quite, like, we hang out, you know the fuck what a respiratory therapist is. If you don't, a respiratory therapist, a respiratory care practitioner, whatever the fuck you want to call us, there's a million names. RCP is the license, or CRT is the bachelor's, basically, of the license. As a respiratory therapist, if I have a patient come into my emergency room who has exacerbated COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, and like slash slash emphysema. Emphysema is just layman's for the same term, same condition. If they come in and they've got an exacerbation from this disease, which is oftentimes, not all the time, there's a gene that can cause it, oftentimes caused by long-term excessive cigarette smoking. I am not allowed to suggest, or mention smoking cessation education. They have to bring the topic up before I can even breathe a word of it at them. For legal reasons. Because I might hurt their feelings. That's American healthcare, though. I think in a nutshell. You know? And it sucks. It is. Because, like, and that's part of that readmittance thing. How am I supposed to help my patients not get readmitted if I can't help them maybe just cut back or replace the thing that is causing them to constantly be readmitted? But no shit, I had a patient come in. I mean, he was young. This guy was like 52 or something, super fucking young for having an end stage COPD kind of thing. Like end stage meaning it's the worst COPD is going to get, and they're probably going to live a really long time with this condition, and it's going to suck. Early 50s, and he made a joke like, I should probably smoke less than 3 packs a day. And I just, while giving a treatment, made the comment like, I've got some literature on that if you'd like it. And he ripped his treatment, ripped the mask off his face, threw it against the wall. He was doing the quad. You're a fucking ray of sunshine, aren't you? I'm just like, how do I do this? Like, I'm a human equivalent of a Band-Aid. I'm like the world's most expensive fucking Band-Aid. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I don't know. You can get albuterol fucking anywhere. Why are you here? What do you want? Elle, I love you so much. How are you, my love? I don't know. These guys got me on a medical talk, but it's important shit, so I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I love you. So we have no evidence-based science stating that marijuana, cannabis, any of the molecules have any long-term effects, i.e. damage to the lung tissue, mucosal membrane of the airways, or the non-conducting airways. How the fuck ever? We have extensive research, meaning like since the Neolithic era, i.e. like skeletons and corpses that were frozen in the snow that we were able to study. They often had genetic makeup that was precursors to esophageal cancer, because we presumptuously assume, based on their lifestyle of living like up where, northern Canada, like the northern territories, presumptuously, like everything they had to consume, i.e. like to get water, they had to melt it. Everything they were eating was hot. And so they conduct a lot of studies on rats and monkeys, probably terrible things like burning their throats. But what we found is that excessive exposure to what I believe was 180 degrees plus to the mucosal membranes of the non-conducting airways can lead to chronic breakdown of the airway tissue, no blood flow, and cancer. Bad stuff. But that's any heat, like that can happen to someone who's obsessed with a super hot latte and gargling it or whatever. It's not the cannabis, it's not the weed. Thus far, scientifically proven and peer reviewed based on what we know today. The only way weed can kill you is if a crate of it falls on your head and breaks your neck. Or if you fill a room with so much there's no more oxygen, like ridiculous circumstances that are never gonna, you know what I'm saying? You'd really have to stretch. Whereas when it comes to tobacco/cigarettes, so many variables. So many variables when it comes to the cigarette, the filter, how the tobacco's treated, what the paper is, what kind of chemicals. Like, this was back in like the 90s, but I remember my mom, because she's a respiratory therapist, telling us this as kids. She came home from work because she had read that I think it was Marlboro was getting in deep shit because people had read the ingredients list and discovered there was fiberglass in their chew, like the, whatever you want to call this, snooze, chew, whatever, and the filters, and they were microscopic amounts, microscopic of like micro bits of fiberglass, but it would break your skin, so you would absorb tobacco at a higher rate. But it also led to mandibular cancer and jaw cancer and all these things at like an excessive rate because it went straight to the fucking bloodstream and broke down the skin. And essentially what happens is when we say chronic, we mean that the exposure to the damaging whatever is so often that your body doesn't have time to heal in between exposure events. Does that make sense? So, like, eventually there will be no capillaries to deliver blood to heal because you've just chronic. It's too much. Your body can't go. Like your liver, for instance, is an amazing organ that filters your blood of everything. Like, it's your detox tea. Fucking those ads piss me off. But if you drink alcohol daily, it's a poison. And I'm talking one shot. That's enough daily. That's not giving your body enough reverb time to for your liver to do anything else. So what can happen is that one drink a day is not going to make you an alcoholic. It's not going to lead to liver failure, but it could lead to other things going wrong in your body because your body can no longer focus on anything but that. Does that make sense? It's crazy. 7 years. Dude, fucking A, man. We've talked about it before. I used to do these Better Breathers clubs and I volunteered with a lot of like anonymous kind of groups just to help if they need a respiratory therapist to talk about stuff. And one of the things that was crazy that I learned was just in talking to a lot of people who were currently and or had been addicted to heroin, heroin's easier to quit than cigarettes, universally stated. Did you know that if you do heroin for too long and you quit it, you can't ever feel happy again? Whoa, my dudes. Cheers to all y'all that are able to withstand any of that. I'm grateful you're my sin, and I love you. Fuck. Addiction sucks. Good on all of you. I mean, seriously. Huge fucking achievements. Almost 8 months? Dude! Cheers to that, seriously. That's fucking sick. It's fucking wild, right? I mean, addiction is not something to ever be taken lightly. I truly believe it's a mental disease that, the stigmatizing of it in our country truly leads to a lot more people dealing with it longer than they should have to. Like, how dare we put shame on people already fucking suffering? I hope they trip on Legos. It's really scary, Allie. I've read, like chemically speaking, what happens. But essentially, heroin causes such a ridiculous, like, high release of your natural, like, dopamine and shit, all the happy chemicals, that your body actually, the receptors that metabolize it and make you feel it, start to die. They burn out. So then, like, you can do the same activities, but never feel that level of joy again, no matter what you do, without heroin. And that's why it's so commendable and amazing when people are able to kick anything. Truly, addiction it's everywhere, and it's just like, I feel you, man. Shit sucks. We love a good shaming in this country. Come on, you're no fun, dude, right? I'll shame. I mean, we could shame all day. You guys want to talk about how Trump's neck looks like a weird, obese 3 months dead vagina? Sober for 3 months? Dude, Vox. You guys, though, this is the shit that I love to celebrate in our chat. Alcohol was my drug in my family. Had to sit me down and let me know how bad I was getting. I mean, good on you for still being in a state of mind where you could listen, because so many people, I think, get so deep into a state of addiction or abuse of a substance to cope with anything in life that they get to that point where they can't hear people who love them anymore. I've had it around my life all my life, and it's like a tipping point where I know you're still that good person on the inside, but you can't hear me anymore because whatever it is you're like imbibing in has numbed the love or whatever. It's so sad, and I hate it. That's fucking great. My husband tried it one time. He came off it and said, "Holy shit, that's too good. Never again. That's not normal." I make jokes about, like, if I make it to 89, I'll try heroin. People give up their families, lives, jobs, and homes for it. But, like, jokes aside, shit's got to be great. Never gonna do that. I don't do anything. I don't drink. I'm so boring. Weed is plenty. I've never, like, smoked weed and been like, wow, I wish you were more. Ever. Cheers to you bitches that are able to literally conquer your own, like, visceral flesh demons. I can't fathom. You're stronger than you will ever give yourself credit, and I hope you realize that. This is literally coming from someone from the outside in, just watching it. Like, holy fucking shit. I vape as a public service because I'm allergic to prison. I don't think I'd be very good in prison. Dude, seriously, Glad, how many years? 7? How many years was it? 7 fucking years. That's a big deal. So, I mean, I could go off about it. Obviously, that was my job. But, like, there are statistics that are really cool if you're ever looking to secede smoking cigarettes, tobacco, whatever you want to do, or just cut back. Like, honestly, no one expects miracles. Addiction fucking sucks. Our bodies love chemicals that feel nice. But one of the coolest things that I learned when I was doing this Better Breathers Club was it's cool, but also gross and sick. So your non-conducting airways, so like your throat and your bronchial tubes, the branches, not the fluffy pink tissue, those are non-conducting, meaning there's no oxygen CO2 transfer going on there, but they're lined with innumerable bajillions of little tiny cilia hairs that are constantly undulating like this. And they catch dust and refuse and anything that's in the air that we're breathing so it doesn't get lodged into the deep dark corners and block air delivering non-conducting airways, i.e. the airways that are actually delivering that oxygen to the pink fluffy tissue where the CO2 transfer happens, et cetera, nerd talk. What happens when you smoke a cigarette with a classic filter on it, I don't know why, but that was what the study was done on, with cigarettes with a filter, it paralyzes those cilia. They go and freeze, and they stop moving. And this is what leads to the quintessential morning smoker's cough, where you kind of wake up and have to cough a whole bunch and then like just like loogies, because those cilias are like, ah, and it takes them like 12-ish hours to start to kind of wake up again. But then you have your morning cigarette and they again, and it can take up to 8 weeks for them to come back to life after cessation of smoking. It's crazy. The fucking dust plugs that I have suctioned out of people's bronchial tubes, it's wild, because like a lot of the time it's hot air you're inhaling into your lungs, so it's also very drying and it dries out the mucosal membranes. So what happens is these secretions that drip down in the dust and stuff, because those little cilias aren't alive anymore, they create literally a plug of the exact shape of that airway, like the bronchial tubes, the branches. And what we do is we have multiple different suction ways to go into your lungs and suction this kind of stuff out, because we don't want any sort of blockage happening like that. Multiple different things can happen that are terrible from that, like just exponentiating into a situation. But what we suction out is the shape. And I mean, I've suctioned out like booger trees. It looks like the tree of life, like the Celtic tree of life, but it's like snot with dust in it. It's fucking beautifully incredible. Teachers. Like some of that shit is, or Idrisil. Yes, no shit. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I had a patient one time. I think I've told you about this patient because it's one that I bagged them for like bagged them like 6 hours straight. We didn't have a ventilator that could support them, so I had to bag mask them until like a helicopter showed up. It was terrible. My arms. I mean, I literally had open bleeding blisters across my hands, but like there's something that kicks in. I believe it's the same thing that kicks in like if a car falls on your child, like the mom thing, where they're suddenly like, "Ah!" with the car. Same thing kicks in when there's a life in your hands. Someone's like, you got a bag till someone shows up. You just go, okay. And then when they show up, you're like, I felt nothing. You know, it's crazy. But anyways, what happened was he had this terrible cough and he ended up breaking a bunch of blood vessels in his throat because he didn't go to the doctor. I don't even know, like it was a mild virus, but the cough just kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point where he was breaking blood vessels in his airways and they were bleeding into his bronchial tubes. And long story short, we ended up suctioning out Idrisil of blood. I mean, it looked like, I mean, if you've ever seen the body exhibit, it looked like those where it's like a body, but the nerves, or body, but just the vessels. That's what it looked like. But it was just the exact imprint of his bronchial tubes, which, like, as a nerd, I want of me. Like, if there was a safe, non-deadly way to, like, get that of mine, I want that. That would be sick. I want to see my bronchial tubes. Like, I've never got to see that shit. You know, like I'm still pissed that my mom doesn't know where the x-rays are from the horse incident when I was a kid. I want to see how bad it was. I know how bad it felt. I know what it like physically felt like, but I have no idea what it looked like. Adrenaline. Yeah. It's a real thing and it kicks in hard. I mean, I talk about compressions, like it laying on the chest. You guys know that's my answer to everything. But there's a science to that. Like, yes, adrenaline kicks in, but one human being, even with that adrenaline kick in, can only do good, adequate chest compressions for maximum 2 minutes, regardless of physical fitness. It's pretty wild. After 2 minutes, something in us starts getting, like muscles you don't use on a daily basis start exhausting, which is why oftentimes if someone's coding, there's a line of people out the door waiting to be the next in line. And you just slide under that person and take over under their hands and you just immediately go into mode. But there's something, I mean, it's great, but like, not dependable. Oh my God, I showed you my bronchial tubes. Please respond. Seriously. I want to see these things. I mean, I'm sure it looks not interesting, but it's mine. That's my dream. One day I go in for some test and they figure out some magic solution that fixes my lungs. Dude, it happened. I mean, I don't believe in miracles, but I've seen, I've heard personal stories from people in the community with things like EDS, for instance, where they have some mystical thing going wrong with their body, indigestion, their joints dislocate all day. They go to 10 different doctors, and finally one doctor, when they're 37, says, have you ever heard of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? Danlos. Sorry, I had a nose bubble. It's kind of rare, and not a lot of people have really even thought about it in 20 years, but maybe we'll test for that. And suddenly their life is literally altered overnight because one person remembered one obscure disease that is like 1 in a million people. It sucks. But like, how could you even afford a specialist that was paid to be there for that 1 in a million, It sucks. You know what's crazy? So many more people nowadays I know, since Eliza got diagnosed, it's like EDS people find this channel. It's incredible. I don't know if I have EDS or not, but I truly am a stretchy bitch. I bet you can get an MRI of the lungs with the oxygenated fluid. You can breathe if you doped it with some kind of marker. I don't know. Would the MRI be fast enough? And how would you get them? I mean, technically, you'd have to inhale something with a metallic contrast in your lungs. I don't know. I mean, Luna, though, imagine the relief. I feel like it's the same feeling. Have you ever seen people get like CJ? CJ literally just had this done. He had a what is it? Yeah, I have it too. Jesus Christ. Deviated septum, where it just like your nose is plugged essentially and you constantly have sinus infections. And they can go in and knock that shit up, but you look like you've had a nose job. They put the fucking big ol' like splints from hell inside your face. And then in a week, you have to go get them yanked out. And like, I mean, CJ literally attested to this because I've seen it online and I had to know if it was real. But the largest, most disgusting slash relieving blood booger comes out of your face that you've ever experienced in your life. I imagine it's got to be similar. Because imagine like just a lobe of your lung not working. I mean, I feel like you'd just be short of breath forever. Right? I have the same. I have a DA7 too. I just can't afford the fucking surgery. Pull Morton. Oh my God, stop it. This is the fluid you can breathe, so you can add something else to it that would show up on the MRI. Oh, no shit. Was featured in the movie Abyss. Was it real, though? Splints from Hell is an understatement. Someday, we're going to be drunk at a TwitchCon together, and I'm going to ask you to whip that video out, and I'm going to need you to supply me a bucket. Maybe. Just a warning. Thanks to being a student, I had all the library access I needed to kick the shit out of my endocrinologist's medical opinion and be right that I have adrenal insufficiency. Being an advocate yourself is always a good thing. The people that handle rare shit see it so infrequently they don't realize they're looking at the rare shit. Yep. I mean, it's a common saying, like, stop looking for zebras when it's a horse or whatever, but sometimes it's a zebra and that person is suffering. You can't cut zebras out. I don't know how to say that. They're going to be zebras. They're not going to be as frequent, but they're there. And that's what I think, doctors get paid the big bucks. They're the book upstairs, and then we specialize in the little areas of the book they've got upstairs. You know what I mean? Neuro does, at least. The one I can speak to personally. An MRI can cause you to heat up? Oh, that's creepy as fuck. The lungs are full of blood vessels, though. Couldn't they dope those? It wouldn't get... I mean, I don't know how you could specifically only do it to the vessels of the bronchial tubes. I mean, you could, theoretically, but you would get a full image of the entire lung tissue, and I feel like all the puffy pink alveoli tissue would take over the image. I don't know how... You know what I'm saying? Unless they have that 3D imaging nowadays where you can, like, go the layers in, but I don't know how you would get just a complete image of just the bronchioles. Like, how would you... Maybe. I don't know. They have medicine is changing every fucking day. It's constantly getting better. Like, I have no idea. I mean, the relief... I've had my nose stuffed. Saying the same thing a few minutes ago. Oh, is it? God damn it. Time flies when you... What happened? What happened? I got on a tangent. I got broken. What horse? When I proved that Endo was wrong, she admitted that her original statement plan would have killed me. I mean, I was gonna say the same. Like, wow, that sounds super extreme. Only with this information, I would super value a doctor that is willing to admit their fuck up. I've heard horror stories. I'm sure you guys have too. Like, horror stories where a medical professional thinks they can get away with a fuck up. Own the fuck up. There's nothing... I mean, I think inherently in most of us, I think we can all kind of agree that, like, there's almost nothing more valuable than just honesty. Like, everyone fucks up. Everyone's a human. I don't want you to kill me with your fuck up, but honesty. Oh, is Dan playing... Oh my God, Dan's gonna try to fuck Cthulhu? Shut up. What? Wait. Hold on. Hold the fucking phone! Dan's gonna fuck Cthulhu? Daniel, where are you? Daniel? Is he live? Why is he not? I want to go. We're gonna go watch Dan get weird. They actually used it for the scenes. No shit, with the rats breathing it, just not the people. It's been used for super deep dive stuff, but not much. Creepy. I just wonder what the long term... Because, like, I mean, my knowledge of the lungs is rudimentary, circulation, shit like that. But I just wonder, like, how would we get it? We'd have to flush the bronchial tubes. How would you get it out? The bronchial tubes and alveoli are just so hyper specific as to what can cross their barrier into the blood and be metabolized which is why we cough up mucus and it's not just like absorbed and just goes into mystical places. You gotta cough it up. I wonder what would happen. Oh, he's on the intro screen. He's not even showing live for me. Hold on. You know what, Vex? I fucking promised you I would prioritize you, and yes, we will watch your video real quick. I promised. I have all the videos you guys gave me, and I'm gonna save them for tomorrow. I have to go on time today because I have I have to get up so early in the morning. Cannot even begin to express. But it's worth it. Worth it. But I have to get up so nauseatingly early in the morning. But I will be here for stream. I just might be like either hyper as hell or beyond exhausted. I don't know yet. Hold on. Oh my god, there he is. My fucking follow list just updated and he like slid into place like a smooth little dick. Your opinion on nasal rinses for the relief of respiratory infection symptoms. So a nasal rinse, I'm assuming you're rinsing the nasal, but respiratory meaning it was an infection here. As long as you're not aspirating said rinse, it shouldn't be what's the word? It shouldn't be exacerbating the issue of your lungs. By any means, but you just want to absolutely make sure you don't aspirate. So like when you neti pot or whenever the fuck, make sure you boil that fluid before it goes into your face. Boil it and let it cool down. Don't put boiling fluid in your face, but no shit. If you don't boil tap water, you will get a parasite in your brain and you will die. Face condoms. No shit. People get parasites from tap water. Boil it, let it cool down to like a nice warm fingering temperature with your fucking clean finger. And then just make sure you have your whole body like urched over the sink and you're rinsing like that and it goes over the other nostril. Just do not aspirate. Does that make sense? Distilled water is absolutely the best option, but nobody goes and buys distilled water after the first time they use it. Fingering temperature, you know what I mean? Nice clean finger. Vex, did I get your link? Did it load? Sorry, I freaked out trying to find Dan and I lost track of everything. I promised Vex yesterday. I promisio. Dude, I don't know what it is. YouTube shorts have been weird all day, but this looks like it's gonna work. Like, just not loading. Distilled water is the smartest thing ever. Honestly, you know, I worked in a hospital, so the people I see didn't do distilled water and had the parasites, so you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we call them the fish, Ike. The little pink fish saline, what's the real term for them? You like twist the top off. We just call them the saline fish at the hospital. I can't remember what their actual name is. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly. I know what you're talking about. That's what we used all the time. And that's smart. CJ, you've heard my roach stories. You don't want that. We like the vibe shorts. No, this is good. And then we'll raid. He's in his fucking opening screen anyways. I will message Sheepy, by the way. Sorry. Mental. What the dude, fucking get it. Why do I love this though? That that energy is it's almost like muscle memory, like you couldn't not do that. No, that was perfect. That was a perfect happy note. No, worth it. That was perfect. I have a lot of like good vibe videos from the community. We can watch more tomorrow if you guys want to. I just got on a tangent. And I do have to wake up at the ass of dawn. So, you know. That was fucking funny. That was great. It reminds me of I had a couple friends in high school who were cheerleaders, and they would do. I worked with them at a fast food restaurant, and they would do that shit behind the. I feel like there's a goddamn fuzz on my face. They do that shit behind the counter. So like they'd be sitting there with their like visor and their blue, polo, because taco time and we're classy like that. And like below the counter, they'd be like it's the most quiet, like, but you'd hear it, and then you'd see a foot, like this little tiny kick. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Are you gonna fling yourself in the air? Constant. It was constant. It was great, but it was constant. March is coming. What's March? What's March? I just desire mucus clearance for my frequent upper respiratory. So like you're talking like sinus infections? You can get like a saline rinse. So for people that have regular like just sinusitis or just I have really shitty sinuses. I thought there was a fruit fly. I have really shitty sinuses, meaning I just get sinus infections all the time. If there's allergies, it's my face. I just am fucked up in the face. I use Flonase, one in each nostril every day, and then I have like a saline rinse. But beyond that, you just want to make sure you're not overusing anything that's medicated or steroidal, because that's where you can run into like refractory issues. Like stay the fuck away from Afrin. Unless a doctor says you're going to die without Afrin, stay the fuck away from Afrin. That stuff you can refractory, meaning your symptom that you were taking the Afrin for will come back 3 times worse. Witchcraft style, you know what I'm saying? It can be really bad. March, oh my God, basketball. March Madness, man, totally off that. I know. Tell people how to properly take Flonase. Wait, I'd have to know how they're not taking Flonase. It's almost 4:20, by the way. 1 minute. What are they doing? I didn't know people need to. You fucking. And then blow your nose. What are people doing to their face? Oh my God. What? Oh no. Okay, so no shit. It's going down the back of your throat. I mean, that's not worst case scenario. It's still getting in contact. It's almost 4:20. It's still in contact with the mucosal membrane, so you're still going to get some of the medication. But no shit, I have Flonase everywhere in my house. It's important to keep the Flonase level. So none of this or this or this or this. Look in a mirror. Level. See where that fucking is? Now angle in. You're done. None of this. It's not going where you want it to go. Is what I'm saying. It's not going to be affecting what you want it to do. Just look in a mirror. I had to do it for a long time because seriously, like I would fuck it up all the time and it would go down the back of my throat. It's disgusting. Look in a mirror and make sure it's level and just make sure it's tilted in. And that way, it's going towards the desired area of absorption in your nose, i.e. the area where it's affecting your sinuses, but also your tear ducts. So people that have allergies and have watery eyes, a lot of the time can find existential relief from Flonase and not eye drops. I've been doing Flonase since I was in high school. It's incredible. It's the only way I live. Happy 420 and cheers. I didn't know people were doing that. I mean, I thought maybe if it ran down the back of your throat, you would know better. You literally... Shut up, Vex. That's exactly what I thought about, was the fucking ball being pulled out of his nose. How could you do that? Having it go to my throat is a good thing though, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing by any means. It's not going to affect you in any... I mean, there's not enough coming out that it's going to make it down to your stomach, and your entire airway is a mucosal membrane, and mucosal membranes are just extremely absorptive. Apt to absorption of the medication. So as long as it's getting in contact with that, and it's not like coming into your mouth onto your tongue, you're fine. Cheers. Instruction. Oh my God, Rage. Can you? I've never seen that, but oh my God. That would have to hurt so bad. Oh no. Oh. I'm just thinking like I actually have no shit. So this is a good one. I can't help it. The medicine never dies. CJ, if you're constantly I don't want to roll over my dog's foot. It's right there. If you're trying to keep your nasal passage and your airways nice and moisturize me. Just a good non-medicated way to do it on top. Like do the Flonase once a day, whenever, I usually do in the morning after I brush my teeth or whatever. But you can get these simply saline. I keep these around because I have allergies and get congested all the time. It's just like drug free. It actually says drug free, but it's just saline spray. These are really good. You could do this daily, multiple times a day. There's nothing in it that's going to be addictive or cause any sort of adverse reaction. It's just a nice little, very mild saline rinse for your nasal passages and helps keep them open and moist. You have the same shop? Yeah, it's the shit. We're all old now. This is what we get excited about. I mean, to be fair though, I feel like when I was a kid, I had the same issues. I just like told myself this was life. And then when I was an adult and got to go to a pharmacy by myself, I was like, wait, there are things I can do to breathe? Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, Vex. I will add it. I have honestly, I don't know why we ended up on a topic today that was like, oh, it was, of course we did, because it's election year, politics pervade our lives, and that's important. I will never discourage the talk of that kind of stuff because it's important to be knowledgeable about it. But like, we needed some fucking like bleach, so we ended up watching cute animals and cats for a very long period of time, and then somehow I got a medicine, so I have a slew of cute shit. Tomorrow's gonna be good vibes. I'm excited. I don't get how saline doesn't dry mucous membrane, to be honest. I mean, we have a huge salt content in our body, right? And we actually need salt to hold on to moisture. There's a science to that. Like if you it's it's not I feel like I'm just sound like a pretentious know-it-all. It's not an actually situation, but like the intracellular extracellular balance. I think everybody had to learn that in like Bio 101 or biology, basic biology. And a lot of that is a salt water kind of balance. And without salt, you won't hold water at all. Your body, like if you've ever exercised a shit ton and you just keep gulping water and you can't stop peeing, you're not really getting hydrated, which is why you're still thirsty and you keep gulping water. You got to get which is why Gatorade got really popular, but you don't need to drink fucking Gatorade. Just like some fucking salt in your diet. Homeostasis. Shut up. Welcome to the place I'm gonna leak my lizard. I learned a lot from Biodome. Oh, dude, right? This is life. And then suddenly it's like, oh my God, my parents just thought I was like crazy. I mean, I don't know why they didn't take to this day, my parents make fun of me for hawking loogies. And I'm like, you could have helped me with this. You bastards. We're heavy saltwater bags. Yeah. So there's something to, but the saline seriously is such a low amount. What is it on these? Like 0.01 or something. It's such a low percentage to anything else. The salt is seriously, there's Dan going live. The salt's purpose is mainly to keep it a sterile kind of fluid. Salt is antibacterial, so you're not just like squirting canned water up your face. Via Los Biodomes! I love that movie. It's so corny, but it's so good. AYR is what I use for moisturizing my nose, but Simply Saline works better for flushing crap out. Yeah, and I feel like when I use the Simply Saline like once a day or whatever, I don't have such a sinus issue because flushing out the whatever is great. Anything out of a plastic bottle to me tastes gross. I don't know if that's just me, but anything. Like, I love, when I was a kid, I loved Diet Coke, only canned. I hate, to this day, a plastic bottle Diet Coke is fucking foul to me. It tastes different and gross, and same with water. I think it's gross. There's something about it. I don't know if it's what the bottle feels like on my mouth or what, but it's bad. I was in the clinic at school daily, and they said, I'm not kidding, I wasn't sick. I just didn't want to go to recess because I was getting bullied. I mean, it's so relatable. So relatable. So relatable. Yeah. Yeah. Same. I mean, yeah. I could go on. Samesies. Super relatable. Like, if it's just being brushed off, or you could even relate it to like sports stuff. The one I always think about is like when my ankles and my toes just like crack forever and my hips kind of hurt and a weird muscle in my back aches. I think about all the times that like I genuinely fucked my body up on a court and my coach just like wrapped my ankle in some fucking cheap tape and probably spanked my ass and I went back on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of moments where it was just like, get out there, you're fine, and like your bone was sticking out. But you were like, well, the adult said I'm fine, so I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Still happens for us with bigger bodies. Wait, what? What happened to a body? Oh, a weed vaporizer is Zenko. Okay, Dan's there finally. His shit was, well, it's probably my internet, but it was glitching. We're gonna rate him, and I have to go do all my things and go to bed early like a good kid. That's so common and gross. Motions in general direction of TV. Yeah. It's like I don't know how to fix the system. It's like, man, I don't understand either way. Like either way you've told a kid that their feelings are invalid and that they're probably lying and they're probably being bullying, so go back to recess. But then on another token, if that kid's being bullied and is so scared to tell you they've lied about being ill and you've just thrust them back in the fire, why are you allowed to work with children? I don't know. But not a parent. My opinion doesn't matter. I'm just a human. But that's weird. That's I know a lot of teachers that would never do any of that. They're so I mean, they know their kids something's wrong before the kid even knows, like I know so many wonderful people that are really in tune to their students. But that sometimes you just gotta wonder, like, why are you even in this job? Oh man, I couldn't imagine. I had friends whose parents worked at the school. Like one of my sister's good friends was the principal of one of our schools. That was weird. I couldn't do that. Dan just walked away. Let's rate him while he's gone. I have to go. I keep stalling because I just want to hang out. But seriously, I have to get up at the ass of dawn to do secrets. But I should be here on time. You know, time permitting. But I'll tweet. Or Discord or something. If not, but it should be fine. But yeah, secrets and stuff. Bitch. Yes, Sidious, thank you so much for starting the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving any swings. That's a really long time, and I appreciate you, dude. Any fucking time, man. Any time. We're here every day, mostly all the time, chilling. I mean, it gave me really good memories of fun people I got to hang out with in high school, honestly, and watching them do their little like shimmies and shit. You're not wrong. To be fair, just because you have a cum pet doesn't mean you know how to raise one. Just because you don't have one doesn't mean you don't. True. I just don't want anyone to think like I'm imposing an opinion. It's just me thinking about stuff. I don't know. I can't. That shit happened to me as a kid all the time. Like just getting brushed off and told like I would go to the school nurse, be like, my head hurts a lot and it feels like there's a headband squeezing it. Go back to class. You just don't like PE because you're fat. It's good for you. Oh, okay. So eventually you just learn to swallow a handful of Aleve every day and go to PE because you're fat. And then you end up with an ulcer the rest of your fucking life. We're fine though. On that note, you're gonna love my friend Domestic Dan. He's equally as not narcissistic. Realistic cynicism. No, yeah, he's just a piece of walking narcissism trash. I hate this world. Why? So hard to talk bad about Dan. It's quite literally impossible. He's one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my entire life. But I did give it effort, and you were all here to see it. Like, if there's an opposite, man. I'm such a fucking Katie mouth. Okay, I have to go walk my dogs. I'm. We're hurt. No. We heard you're a narcissist clown, bitch. What's up? I swear it wasn't a Freudian slip. Like, whatever the opposite of narcissist is, if that's even a. I was trying to think what it really would be. Like, what's the term for a person that. A philanthropic? Would that be like. I mean, Dan's a selfless bitch. Like, he's still a bitch. He's welcome to call me that as well. We have that level of friendship. But, like, I don't know how else to put that. He's one of the most selfless people I've ever met. So please don't think in any way that was a fucking Freudian slip. I don't know why my mouth said that. Altruist. He really is. Truly, he does more things for charity and more things for other people, and he would cut his leg off for you. Like, he's truly one of the kindest people I've ever met. And I had the pleasure of meeting him really early on in my streaming career and getting to meet him IRL as well. Because we just happen to both live in the Seattle area. And we cooked lies together. Well, he has the lies in his freezer. We tried. We didn't. They're lies. You guys know. If you know, you know. But, like, truly one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Now, Choco, on the other hand, that little hairy bitch. I have words. First thing, how dare you? Second, I cannot believe that on my birthday. I'm just kidding. I love Dan so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.